Welcome to the Sci-Fi Center, the place to be, where comic books and wrestling collide magically. Movies, TV shows, and pop culture we share. Get ready to rock, we're here to take you there. From superheroes to aliens in outer space, we've got the latest news and reviews in our embrace. Turn on your screen, let the neon lights glow. We'll take you back to the 80s. Let's rock and roll. Sci-Fi Center, where the legends come alive. Get ready to geek out, let your imagination thrive. We're diving into the past with a touch of modern flair. Sci-Fi Center, the ultimate pop culture lair. Calm down and get your teeth to gift at the Sci-Fi Center. We got almost everything a geek could want at the Sci-Fi Center. You name it, we got it. Star Trek, Star Wars, Marvel, DC, and everything in between at the Sci-Fi Center.
Happy Sunday night, and in place of our usual Sunday night live stream is a show that I had to, for business reasons, had to postpone from this past Saturday afternoon, and I'm doing it now. It's a pretty lengthy one. It is 1982's Conan the Barbarian, the original, not the remake. So for those of you who want to watch along with us, once again, archive.org has hooked us up. The link to the full movie is pinned to the top of the chat, so you can follow along with us there. And for those of you who are watching later on, it's the same thing for you. You can go ahead and click that link. It'll be there for the entire 2 hours and 10 minutes of this movie. 1982 was a huge year for films. It was, obviously it's the year that Blade Runner was released, the year that John Carpenter's Thing was released. What else on this one? So let's see. What's up?
E.T.
Yeah, E.T. 48 Hours. For me, it will always be Blade Runner. I mean, like I always say, when I gave Blade Runner in 2049 its review 8 years ago, that was one of the things that I harkened back to, is that with so many movies that are released in 1982, I refer to a lot of them, but for me, that year is always going to be Blade Runner. But we have watched that film over and over again, so we're not going to watch that again for a while. Maybe it's on its anniversary. Yeah, my camera is not where I needed to be right now. Hold on for a second. Somebody brought to my attention that it wasn't where it was.
By the way, I managed. I held down the store pretty well while you were gone. You were the Daredevil watch party. In fact, it went so well. The consensus in the comments was that William's service is no longer required at the Sci-Fi Center, so I will be taking over the show in perpetuity as of tonight. So I will go ahead and removing you right now, and it's all the Brad owned Sci-Fi Center now.
Yeah, there's a lot of bills that come with that. Yeah, a little bit too much martial arts stuff in there, but I figured you were going to do that since I wasn't around.
I'm Daredevil. Come on.
Yeah, but as far as I was not able to be here this afternoon, but like I said, I mean, I think you guys got the hang of this Daredevil thing. We only got a few more episodes left of the second season here.
The only thing I kind of flubbed is during the sign off. I clicked on end stream, but it didn't give us the usual outro, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a little bit of hold on. I'm gonna have to replace this camera. God damn it! This is a brand new camera. Hold on. I'm having issues. Like I said, I was watching some of the replays um, the other night, and I was having to say it shows up on when I'm looking through StreamYard. It's crystal clear. I mean, it's like crystal clear. So like right now, I have up on our main screen, and it's crystal clear. But YouTube, I don't know if it's my camera's the issue, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to see myself as clearly as I'm looking at myself now. But I don't know if it's the bitrate compression or something going on with the hold on for a second. I'll be right back.
How's it going, sis? So you got your Cobra Kai questions in earlier, as did I. So I don't think I had an answer to mine. So yeah, I mean, you might come back on it tomorrow, hopefully.
All right, let's see. Okay, I'm still clearing this, and I'm just trying to figure out what's going on between StreamYard and YouTube that makes it not look like what I'm looking at. That drives me crazy. Pay all this money for equipment, and it just doesn't look like. There's nothing I can do about that. It's somebody brought it to my attention a couple of days ago, but it's not my camera, it's not my computer, it's something between the camera and YouTube, and it's driving me fucking crazy. Because right now, I wish I could print screen and show you guys just how crystal clear I am right now. Oh well. All right, I'll figure it out between now and next time we stream. In the meantime, let's go ahead and I really don't know what this is. I know it's Chappie, but I don't know what or the head in there
What are you
somewhere.
holding up
What's
there, man?
going on? Okay, there you go.
Oh, you're mute, man.
Yep, doing fine.
All right. Okay, this is a long one, so let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I'm watching the extended cut.
The cut that I'm watching is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, all right, I am going to go ahead and start us off at all zeros on the count of 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play.
And anybody watching tonight, if you don't join in with us, then to head with you.
That was horrible.
God, I'm gonna have such a good laugh when we get to that part. As my friend Mike calls it, he says that's the most blasphemous prayer of all time.
Yes. It's hilarious, but in a good way.
Aaron says he'll fine, man.
Yeah, it's just yeah. I'm looking at. Well. There's a difference between, like I said, I got a high-end camera here, and for the most part, it was and then I had some sound issues the other day where my sound wasn't sounding right, but when I hit record stream to listen to myself through StreamYard, I sound perfect. But when I listen to myself on YouTube, that's when I had some issues. So I think there's something going on between StreamYard. I'm gonna have to look at this up.
Who wrote the original Conan book?
Arthur Conan Doyle.
Yeah. I thought it was a guy named Robert A. Martin.
Robert Howard. Are you talking about Robert E. Howard?
Yeah.
What did you dude? Did I just give you the wrong information? Hold on.
Yeah, I think it was Robert E. Howard.
I think Robert E. Howard wrote. I mean, I'm getting my Hibernian age. Robert E. Howard. Dude, I had the name in my head, but I switched. Conan Doyle's fucking Sherlock. What am I thinking?
By the way, I'm hearing the movie play on somebody else.
Yeah, hold on. That's me because I'm gonna put it on the earphones. I turned off my settings to see what was wrong with the sound. Hold on, I'll fix this. There we go.
And by the way, to kind of give a little bit, anybody who's not too familiar with Conan, a little bit of the backstory of like the time period, because I remember when I first saw the movie, I was probably like 13 or 14,
I saw it
and
on TV.
I wasn't too familiar with the the literary backstory or the comic book history of Conan, and I just
I have one of the. I have
Oh,
one of the.
one at
old-
a time, guys. One at a time. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I recognize it as Arnold Schwarzenegger was on the cover basically, and kind of learning more about the backstory. So Robert E. Howard he placed Conan as taking place in this kind of fictional era called the Hyborian Age, which that is, and then I kind of did a little bit more reading about that, and basically it takes place during a period. Conan is one of like kind of like the bigger examples of popular media of taking place during what's called the antediluvian era, which basically it's antediluvian means before the flood. So Conan, to kind of give you an idea of like the time period, it's meant to take place before the flood, that with before that God sends to wipe out
mean
humanity, and
Noah?
Noah building the ark and taking all the animals on board. That's kind of meant to be. This is when when Conan takes with the Hyborian Age is Robert E. Howard's version of the antediluvian Earth.
I just put the Wikipedia Hyberian Age article in there. This was mine. Fourth.
Well, so did you see? Because you would have been like about 8 years old this time. So did you see this theatrically?
Yes.
Oh God, really? My
Yeah.
folks never would have liked
You,
all the
Fee,
violence,
that's
all
what.
the sex in it. I was like, they never would have let me see this at that age.
Yeah, me too. Fee, me and
I
you
was
were
watching
on.
by 1982. I'd seen like 10 slashers already, and they all had nudity in them. So it was
See,
just my parents and my dad just he knew what we could handle as kids and what we couldn't handle, and what would we knew what was real, we knew what wasn't real, we knew where things were. I mean, just because we heard like Eddie Murphy or somebody cuss, we knew we weren't supposed to. I mean, we just knew what we were supposed to do versus what was in the movie. So the influence, the worry that it would influence us in an adverse way, just wasn't there. We never proved that we couldn't handle it. You know what I mean?
see, that's the thing though, and that's what makes me like so jealous because like I never was allowed to watch all-way movies either as a kid, and I always thought about it, but my parents would always say no. So that's why I and always that's why when I always hear stories of like kids getting to watch older stuff when they were very young, I just get so jealous.
Fourth, I can see Fourth has entered the room
Yeah, what I mean.
with drugs and weed in mind. Why was Conan to destroy such a drop off? I don't know. It was. I don't
Oh,
know. I
Because it
don't
was
know.
more for kiddies, that's
it went
why.
from R to PG. That
Oh,
certainly didn't help
that's
anything.
another thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
The great Wilt Chamberlain didn't show
It's
no
like
favorites.
RoboCop 3. It's
I
like
mean,
they went.
well, but even that's like, I mean, it's one thing. I mean, it ruffles enough feathers when you go from R to PG-13. That wasn't from R to PG.
Yeah, because there was no PG-13 when that movie.
Yeah.
That 84. That was the year PG-13
Yeah.
came about, and that was after Spielberg helped develop that. It was after Gremlins.
It was Gremlins,
Temple
yeah.
of Doom.
And John. No,
Even
sorry.
though that would be the one of the last movies of the first 2 years that would ever have it implemented. Red Dawn and Flamingo Kid were actually the
Red
first
Dawn.
two.
That's some bullshit. That's PG.
Yeah. And be honest with you, I don't know why Steven Spielberg thought he needed Gremlins falls well short of it's barely PG.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
even know
but
why he
Temple of
thought that he
Doom.
needed that.
Temple of Doom has hearts being ripped out, and like so.
Yeah.
So like that was
I
the one
just
that
wonder,
really.
like, what was it back in the day that, like, the MPAA didn't give a shit about the rating system? Like, especially, in the early 70s where you had, like, Barbarella. We have, like, a boob shot in Barbarella, and that's, like, a PG
Well,
movie.
as
So,
each generation came through, they got softer and weaker as far as like what they, like I said, when I was a kid, we were all watching this stuff. I mean, we weren't,
yeah.
we were all watching this
Well,
shit. I mean,
and also I think a big part of it too when you talk about like the ratings, once PG-13, like once it came about, it's studios dove on it as kind of like a one size fits all sort of rating in terms of like for tent poles and things like that. It became as much of like it became as much about marketing as it did about content. And PG-13, I mean PG-13, those barely mean anything at all today. I mean, like you look like I think like probably a good like 50% of the MCU could easily be PG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it just like it, but the problem with it is it's like again it's part of the marketing where it's like if you got like a big if you're trying to be like a big 4 quadrant kind of blockbuster, if you're going under PG-13, there's at least the fear within the studio, justified or not, that's if it's not PG-13, at least it's going to turn off a lot of your audience that's 13 and up and even younger.
Yeah.
So
Well, the whole thing. I mean, Steven Spielberg gets credit for it. It wasn't really him. It was the industry. The industry didn't want to alienate because they had a certain group of actors and actresses that were the draws back in the mid
Like the Brat Pack.
80s. Yeah, like the Charlie Sheens, Timothy Hutton, Lou Diamond Phillips, and all of these particular actors that they would be putting in these very violent movies. And they were afraid that if they were made them R, that you wouldn't go see. You couldn't go see Patrick Swayze. You couldn't go see, all these people that were in these movies with all this violence in them. So the industry basically created a sham rating, for the studios to be able to say, oh, it's still PG, but 13. Even though when you go see Red Dawn, there's nothing PG about Red Dawn.
Well, the way Spielberg put it, I remember hearing this quote on this channel. I follow Good Bad Flicks. Cecil, if you're watching, Yellow Shadow Inside the Center, following him for about 10 years at least. He did a video a while back on the genesis of PG-13, and the quote he mentioned from Spielberg was that Spielberg's idea with PG-13 was he described it as it's a way to take a PG movie and add a little hot sauce.
But see, the thing that they were doing in Temple of Doom, they were taking hearts out of people's chest on TV.
Yeah, like dipping them in lava and like getting them crushed by rock grinders. And
that kind of stuff was happening on the Tales of the Golden Goose. Jake Cutter, for those of you old enough to remember that. Everything that they did with that they were doing on that they did in Indiana Temple of Doom, they were doing that kind of stuff on TV, or they were airing shows that were movies that they didn't censor, and the stuff was in there. The only thing that they would really censor were the cuss words and nudity, but the violence and stuff, beheading, and all that kind of. You could watch that stuff as a 6 or 7-year-old when I was a kid. So
you look back on like a lot of like the quote unquote PG movies of the 80s that kids were allowed to see. I mean, a lot of quote unquote kids movies from the 80s are like they really got away with quite a lot.
Yeah. So that's why when people say, well, Steven Spielberg's movies, I'm like, not really, because nothing he did was
and that's something that like we've seen some like a couple of things like kind of like try to in the modern sense to like kind of recreate like the 80s kids movie feel. And like it's things like Stranger Things or the first Shazam movie where they're kids movies, but they're 80s kids movies. So it's like
it makes them great.
Goonies was kind of disturbing if you watch it close enough.
Yeah.
This is driving. Sorry guys, if I seem distracted, it's because I'm really aggravated that I pay a decent amount of money for internet. I have a very decent quality camera. I just don't like the way I'm looking on YouTube right now. It's bothering me.
You look fine to me, man.
It looks like I'm fuzzy and not as like I said. I wish I could show you. You can see me. Look at us
in a red shirt and an army cap. I mean,
but look at us. Look at me on StreamYard, right? You see how sharp and crisp I am on machine.
Yeah.
Now go look at YouTube.
Okay, I'll pull it up right now.
That's what's killing me. I think it was Bell. Bell brought it up the other day. He said my camera was shitty. I'm looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute.
Okay, I can see what you're talking about. It's mainly it's your shirt. Your shirt is a little bit fuzzy there. I mean, it's not like horribly distracting, but I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah, like I said, I'm looking at the Temu version of me. That sucks, but okay. Nothing I can do about it, guys. If you're watching this on the replay, it's a YouTube thing. It's not even a StreamYard thing. It's a YouTube thing. So sorry.
One thing that's kind of weird to me is like, how come like sometimes with like PG-13, like they'll shoot like an all-rated version, but like they have to like cut it down for like purposes for like marketing reasons. But like they'll put it in as like unrated, like with
unrated. You don't release unrated stuff in the theaters though.
You just do that so you can get like an extra bite of the apple.
It's like, it's kind of like on Blu-ray,
Yeah, but when you're releasing it in the theater, especially back in the 80s and 90s, if you couldn't get certain movies would make a lot of money if they were rated R or mature audience, things like that. But then there's certain demographics you couldn't do. Like I said, if you have a certain group of artists or a certain group of actors, and you couldn't. You had to have them as part of the movie.
Well, like
you
Stallone,
wanted them to. Yeah, you wanted them to be able to go to the movies without their parents. That's what the whole thing was.
Yeah.
Is that
I remember recently I watched the unrated version for Taken 2, and it's a much better version. It's a much more violent.
You want to talk about a drop off?
Yeah,
The Taken franchise after one, I'm like, wow, no more Taken.
Hey man,
there's no more to do with
it.
it.
Man, they're good movies. They're not bad
3, man.
movies.
I mean, 3 has that part where it has like 80 cuts when he's climbing the
Yeah.
mountain.
Okay, now that I do agree. That's a bit too much, but it's not a bad movie. I like the Taken sequels. I'm sorry.
Okay, so we just watched him take his mother's head, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That scene as an 8-year-old, if I wasn't already fucked up in the head for watching all these movies, that scene, I wanted him to get his ass kicked.
The way it's presented too, where it's this is actually, I mean, it's a weird way to praise it, where this is actually a very well handled decapitation where
I wasn't expecting it. I was shocked.
And look how this kid is like so calm,
and then
though.
You see her body fall over and he's still holding onto her hand, and
he just keeps his hand up like that.
Yeah, it really does a good job of like showing like the trauma this would have on a kid.
Yeah, and when you looked at it, like when I was watching it, like I said, this is 1982. I'm watching it, right? I didn't realize he was going to do it because he turns and he's walking away, and then he just takes his whole swing, and you see her head come down, and I'm like, okay, he needs to die. 8-year-old me knew that. Okay,
sets up the president very well with this villain right here.
Well, and he does die.
It's not a spoiler. Like it's
43 years
later.
Yeah,
he gets his decapitated like his mom.
But he does die pretty painful death towards the end of the movie here. But and the thing about it, the also thing about it too, with also Doom and Conan, of course, I mean, this is James Earl Jones playing him. Of course, at that time, he was still very much associated with Darth Vader. So, and maybe you can probably speak to this better than I, because I wasn't even born yet when this came out. But I mean, how much did they really emphasize that in the marketing of Conan? Like
not
the
at all.
Darth, really,
no, not
really?
at all. You know what was marketed to let you know that what kind of stature James Earl Jones was. Roots.
What's that?
Roots.
What's what?
Roots.
Oh yeah, Root. Yeah. Man.
Because you could market his face, not just his voice.
That's true. Yeah, I can see that.
By the way, these haircuts in this movie, this whole Spinal Tap shit before Spinal Tap haircut, seeing James Earl Jones with the Spinal Tap haircut in the bangs, I'm like, to this day, I never got over that. I'm like, dude, I want that.
Arnold's got a pretty good mane in it too.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the Spinal Tap bangs.
No, he doesn't.
For those of you too young, Google Spinal Tap.
Aaron, so and yeah, this is actually probably a pretty good question.
I sent you a link, by the way, Aaron.
Aaron, love to have you on, sis. So yeah, it's probably actually a pretty good question as we're getting into the movie here. So is Conan based on a comic book or one of those comics or newspaper? Conan has been in comic book form, but he didn't start as a comic. He started as a
book.
Yeah, pretty much as a series of books.
I have the original Marvel comic of him in the shelf of mine, but I'll pull it up later.
He's kind of been in all media.
Yeah. All right. He first appeared in Weird Tales in December of 1932. That's the comic. By the way, if you go know where, so when I'm at the center and I bring out these anthology magazines with all the painted covers, that's what Weird Tales was back in the 30s.
So Conan kind of started a similar way. From like the time period he came from, he kind of started in a similar way as like the Phantom or like even like Lord of the Rings.
You can even argue about John Carter.
You know what? I would love. Okay, off topic. Speaking of shit, that it was two people that I want it to tackle a project. One of two people, Zack Snyder and Denis Villeneuve with John Carpenter. Because I still think there's. I'm sorry. John Carter. That movie just wasn't an awful
that movie was actually pretty good though.
But it just, I mean,
horribly marketed.
They definitely on it.
And Zach,
No,
hey, the female main lead in there.
after Rebel Moon.
Zach's gonna make her wearing the attire. I'll leave it at that. Zach is gonna have her wearing the attire that she wears in the books, and I'll just leave it there.
Well,
you know what?
Rebel,
I could
Rebel
actually.
Moon.
Hold on, we'll go one at a time, Chappie.
Go ahead, Chappie.
Well, no, I can actually see a Zack Snyder's John Carter movie. That actually would be pretty dope.
Yeah, like after Rebel Moon, I could really see him doing something like John Carter.
All right, what this will is, what was it? They were milling something.
Yeah, they're like pushing
and
something.
he spends like 20 years doing it.
Yeah, he just grows up there, just pushing. That's how he got all yoked up.
Yeah, but
Well,
in the context of this is how Arnold got really jacked.
Yeah,
that movie wasn't that bad, dude. Not as bad as its box
movie.
office.
It's
That's
just
for sure.
the problem was it was like that movie Dread. It was just horribly marketed. They didn't know how to do it.
Well,
that's a porn. That's a porn for.
What is that?
They needed to. I mean, just the way it was titled too. I mean, like John Carter just sounds. I mean, the official title, John Carter Mars. I mean, it's like John Carter just sounds so much more generic than that. It's not like like John Wick is a good example of that, where it's like the first one was a sleeper hit, just on Keanu's big comeback, but you have a title like that, it's very nondescript, and that does like 87 or whatever it did at the time, and now because the franchise has become so popular, now you have like 400 million, a pop every time a new John Wick comes out. So with the title like John Carter, again, that's not giving you like a big sense of like what this is, especially for people who aren't see the literary tradition of it. So John Carter Mars would have been the ideal title.
Yeah, but that's what I wonder. Like, why did they not title it John Carter Prince of Mars, like the book?
Good time, man.
That's just so weird to me. Because what was it like marketing that movie, William?
The marketing was horrible.
Yeah. Well, especially at the end of the movie, the end credits it calls it John Carter Mars too. Sis is here. Yeah, John Carter goes.
No. The character of Deja Thora is not safe under any circumstances if you do her true to what Barrows was putting out. Like I said, her outfit is Disney proof. You ain't put that on Disney. Look at the Ozzy. Look at I can see her little Zoran face in there.
It's so dark.
Yeah.
I see dimples. All I see are dimples. Yeah. Hello, Aaron.
I saw your questions to the Cobra Kai showrunner. There's like a statement on my mind.
I'm watching there. No kung fu in this movie. There's no segue to kung fu. There's no
Arnold study with a martial
Can you
arts
hear me?
teacher. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Ooh, wow,
Arnold study with a martial arts teacher.
Yeah, it's a little bit dark idea. Have you thought about putting your screen up?
You got your cartoon voice going today, Aaron. You need to get that monetized. Let's see where we're at.
No, we're at where he's fighting at this gladiator ball right here.
He said that this movie was a godsend to him. It was the movie. Arnold considers this the most important movie of his career. Even though there were bigger blockbusters, this was the movie that put him. I mean, before it was Hercules in New York, which is as awful as it sounds. But this movie is what did it. And this movie was pretty. It almost got in trouble with the ratings. There were people who
rated X.
They wanted to rate it X because of the violence. I mean, there's 2 beheadings in there. 8-year-old me was like, "This is the way." But there's all kinds of sex in there. There's violence against women. Obviously, it opens up with a woman being beheaded. Women jumping off of cliffs. Topless chicks.
It's very true to the Hyborian age. I mean,
they treated women. You read the Conan comics.
Yeah,
back in the day, Conan comics came out, like the Savage Sword of Conan and things like that. They were black and white. For some reason, the Comics Code just said, "Fuck those guys. We're not even going to go over into their neighborhood," because they were all naked. They were always topless.
Internet Australia, to hell with you.
That's the you got to have koala power.
I don't know if you know, but the director of this is actually John Milius.
Yes,
he actually did Red Dawn, so that's kind of a.
And he also actually, for those of you who might not be aware, he was actually kind of an early bit of a player in developing the early UFC. He was actually his idea to make it an octagonal cage, and
which one?
So he helped kind of get the UFC rolling back in the early 90s. But during kind of like the stone age of the UFC before like MMA as we know it.
The Kurt, what's that guy's name that was in WWE all the time? Ken Shamrock era.
Yeah.
But didn't he also write Apocalypse Now too?
No, we did not. But they did
No.
actually. It's funny you should mention that because Oliver Stone actually had he took a pass at the script on this.
Yeah, and I heard the script was a lot different. It was much more like futuristic, and then they like for budget reasons they had to like cut it down. So that's why he came on to like rewrite the script a little bit.
Like right here. This is not a feminist movie.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like,
look
oh,
at
you learned
this.
about the pleasures of women. Bring a captive woman into a cage. Yeah, yeah.
He
This
does
would
worse
get,
in the comics. Though.
oh, this would get so man. This would get torn apart if they did something like this today.
Hey man,
And
that's
you
the
know,
'80s, man. That's what makes the '80s so great.
you notice how the Jason Momoa Conan that has like nothing like
Yeah,
I don't think it has a sex scene in it, does it? It's been a while since I've
Yeah,
seen
I
it.
think it does.
But nothing like this, where they just
No.
say here, they just hand him a woman,
Nah,
say here you go.
Conan banged at least three women. That witch that he tosses into the fire. This one right here. That other chick that he brings back to life.
I mean, she's pretty much like a prostitute right here.
Well, that's what she is.
Well,
All
finest
women in the Iberian age were just they was there. They weren't sorcerers. They were there for the
He just called her the finest stock. I mean, again, this would absolutely get torn apart if it came out today.
Yeah, but as people these days, people bitch and whine about everything.
And this is Arnold. This guy was like.
Yeah, he was born for this.
He was in. This is when he was still in these competitions and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like he was just coming off of I think Pumping Iron right after this, and he of course he was Mr. Universe, and so this is Arnold. Like you said, he considers this like his big break.
Okay, buddy.
He considers this like his big break, and this was him is at his peak in terms of not just his breakout in the movie business, but also him at his peak in terms of like his physical peak. Because Arnold, I think, was like 35 when he did this.
Yeah.
Was he 35?
Yeah, he would have been like mid.
Here's the special speech that you love.
Okay, Aaron. Yeah, again, Aaron to the whoever's managing the Aaron in Australia. To hell with you. So. Yeah. Well,
this
bring
is
bring it back in once
t-shirts.
you're able to get that sorted, Aaron.
Yeah, they put this shit on t-shirts.
Oh yeah, this quote is like,
"Crush
your enemies, see them before you, and to hear lamentation of the women."
Yeah. It sounds like those old Saturday Night Live skits. Pump you up, those guys.
Want to pump you up.
Horrible. All right, he's 77. So yeah, how old was he? What does that make him in 80?
1983?
That would have made it about like 34, 35 at the time that this was made.
Wow.
And the other thing too, I mean, Arnold, because again, this is very early on in his career. He actually has very little dialogue in this movie.
Very, very little.
Yeah.
Which is weird because Conan does a lot of talking in the comic books, actually. And it's not stuff that's really safe for work. And Conan was a borderline rapist he said, you know what, I'm Conan, you're a woman, we're just gonna do it, whether he's snatching women and ripping their clothes off, and I'm Conan.
Yeah, I guess that's a marginal upgrade in this movie. They just put him in a cage and like hand them to him. Somebody's gonna clip all this out and say like we're this misogynist pigs. Like, listen, we didn't
1982.
Yeah.
Hey, tell that to John Milius.
I watched Trigun back when it first came out. That was one of the first anime that I watched. By the way, I just ordered a bunch of Trigun stuff for the store. I can't wait till my give you guys a tour of my anime section, my manga section. Everybody's been telling me, you gotta sell anime. And I'm like, at my own pace, guys, at my own pace. I'm not gonna go bankrupt.
So
some of the stuff is cool.
So Arnold, this is like I'm trying to think like as far as like Arnold's body of work that we've done watch parties for. I think the only other Arnold movie we've watched is Total Recall, right?
Yeah.
No, we've done Terminator.
Oh yeah, we did the first two Terminators. So we've done that.
We gotta do Salvation soon, guys. I'm waiting.
I'm not that desperate.
The Terminator 1 and 2. We've done Total Recall now. Done Conan the Barbarian.
Brad, is that the new headset, or that's the old headset, isn't it, Brad?
No, this is the OG headset.
I wish I had my X. It's doing that OG thing.
You took it out because I started turning it against you. Well, am I sounding okay tonight?
You still have that rhythmic static coming in.
Yeah, I got to break out the. I just.
Why don't you break it out?
Lazy.
It takes like 2 seconds, 10 seconds. You plug it in, the little box pops up, and you say yes to everything.
I can't do that because I'm a lazy shit, man.
Even so am I, dude. It's plug and play. You could literally do it while you're on the stream now.
I'll do it next time.
You keep saying that. You never do it.
So how about Trigun Stampede?
I just watched the original one. That I actually have that on VHS at the store. Believe it or not. Not a big. I watched Trigun, and I have some Trigun toys at the store too, but I'm not as familiar with it as you are, Roman. I have Macross on VHS too. I watched Macross as a kid. That came out in 1982 as well. That's what led me into Robotech.
Well, and so kind of thinking about the context of Arnold's career. So,
Terminator, what changed him?
Second,
the Terminator, wasn't that the one that changed him the most?
Well, he's as William was saying, like he considered Arnold considers this like his big break, and then Terminator. It's kind of like Terminator, like that. Fully pushed him over. Made him like the big star.
And then those Predator, you can kind of count as those three right there, like Conan, Terminator, and Predator.
Let's not discount Commando, man. Come on.
I mean, Commando's good, but those three right there are like his three big iconic roles.
Predator, yeah, that's probably. That's probably. If you ask me, like my favorite non-Terminator Arnold movies, like Predator is like definitely way up there.
It might be a top two. It's my top two for sure.
It's so crazy. He's never, and there have been attempts to have Dutch come back as
make a Conan, an adult version of Conan, like the Return of Conan or something, but it just never they off the ground.
Well, they've taught and at various points he's wanted to do King Conan, but I mean that's never gotten off the ground. And by the way, this I'm wondering if people caught this pretty swiftly, and when Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, that there is a pretty overt Conan Easter egg, and I'll go ahead and pull it up right now.
Really?
Gonna pull this up here. So yeah, the shot of Darkseid during the Cyborg Nightmare Vision, that's pretty clearly, a King Conan.
Yeah, you actually see that at the last scene of this one.
It's the last scene of
King Conan.
And yeah, it's the same pose. It's the same, it's the whole throne.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. So
yeah, I can see that. I didn't know about that. Thanks for pointing it out.
Yeah, I remember catching that like first time I saw it. It's like, oh, that's totally like King Conan right there.
You think they ever will get it off the ground? Oh no.
Yeah.
He's approaching 80, so I don't know.
Yeah, or like any younger. It's funny because he was. I remember him talking like he was on like Howard Stern a couple of months ago, and he talked about it sucks getting older because it's like I used to be like my biceps and my pecs are like just perfect. Now just hanging down. So he says like by like 77-year-old standards, he's in phenomenal shape, but still it's like it's not. You can't ask somebody like be in Conan shape, at that age, but
yeah. But you can do it with Wesley Snipes' blade. Fingers crossed on that one.
Aaron, I remember my parents having this movie on Betamax. Oh man, that is dated. Oh man. Even though I'm a 90s kid, my family still had a Betamax. I was reading that, man.
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Betamax clearance movies also had this on VHS 2, non DVD. Yeah, the first time when I first saw it, it was on DVD.
Saw it in movies. I have held Magic tournaments at the Sci-Fi Center. What are you talking about? I have a deck at the center.
Yeah, so again, bringing it back to Conan being a borderline rapist. That's probably putting it generously. I mean, this is like he asked for like directions for like where he's going. It's like, okay, but it means like the the witch says, all right, that you got to pay the toll.
Yeah. William, how faithful is this to the comic book?
That is good.
In some ways, yes. Some ways, no.
Yeah, it's. I know it's somewhat divisive among like Conan fans in terms of like the fidelity to the Robert E. Howard work. And like one of the biggest I think bones of contention is Souls of Doom is somewhat reimagined, if not significantly reimagined.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a problem with swapping out things back then. No, fourth, they're too time consuming. I don't have the time to do them these days. I've done them recently though, but I mean, there's not enough time in the day to do all the stuff you guys think I have time to do. Sorry.
Do you think they could get the rights to John Carter or no? Especially Sachs would like to do it or no?
Who, John Carter? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that hard at all.
I mean, it ain't like Disney's holding on to him. So
yeah. I always forget how much nudity there is in this film.
Yeah, like I said, that was the selling point of a lot of these, especially when they went into comic books.
Yeah.
And there's where the sex gets bad.
she's turning into Pennywise with those teeth.
Easily killed though, just tossed into the fire.
Definitely ain't what you would call safe sex.
Yeah.
I just realized too. This has occurred to me because I mentioned earlier that again Arnold doesn't talk much in Conan, and also like really like early in I don't think it maybe was until Predator or Running Man that he had significant dialogue in a lot of things. I mean, look at his career from this stage on, like Conan, Terminator, Commando. It's like he's playing guys that just like they don't do a lot of talking. They mostly just do a lot of killing. And I mean, it's like in a lot of ways, it's probably like it was a smart move strategically for Arnold because I mean, he's just starting out. It's like I mean, he's Arnold, at least at this point, not a guy that had a huge amount of range, so. He really kind of stayed within like the parameters of like playing big beefy dudes who just kind of let their muscles do the talking. It's actually, and it's funny too because like once he got to Terminator 2, like Terminator 2 is actually probably one of his better performances.
I mean,
probably
I think Predator's pretty good.
In terms of like purely from like him embodying a machine, like Terminator 2, like that's where he really I think kind of like.
Yeah.
That's where he really, I think, kind of hit his stride as far as like in terms of like.
Do you like when he's comedic?
yeah. I do enjoy Arnold comedies. Yeah, Jingle. Listen, William will never shake me out of that.
We're watching.
Jingle All the Way is a classic. Don't you dare say it.
That is classic bullshit. We're watching
Conan, but I love it.
We're watching Conan. We don't need to We don't need to bring up his shitty movies. Let's watch the one that put him on the map. And Delight Loves Movies, thank you for joining us. Yeah, that quote, I know somebody who had that tattooed on themselves. So, yeah.
Well, also, I mean, I'm sure this is, like, what is the riddle of steel is also tattooed on shirts and what have you. Or crumb laps at your four winds.
That's a horrible accent. I don't know what's going on here, Forth, but I don't know what you're trying to say about Brad, but hey. Yeah, Dosa Doom looks nothing like he does in this movie, by the way.
Nah.
What's getting William triggered? The mention of Jingle All the Way, apparently.
Hey, man, Jingle All the Way is a classic, man. Don't you dare talk bad
We're
about that film.
watching Conan, which in every way, shape, or form makes that fucking movie looks like some kindergartner's finger painting class. So let's stick to the quality.
Listen,
that
William,
we're watching.
I'm not the one like calling it like. I'm not calling like the Godfather of Christmas movies. I just say I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's great.
It's stupid.
Do you like Kindergarten Cop? How about
No.
Kindergarten Cop? Do you like that one?
Nope.
Actually,
I walked out of that one. Both me and my dad walked out of that movie.
I'm not big on that one as far as like Arnold's comedy work. That one
he's not funny. He's not funny, and he doesn't. There's nothing you can do to make him funny.
His worst comedy is Junior. Where Arnold getting pregnant. No, they've really dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, that one was only
There's
good.
nothing you can do to make
Arnold
Kindergarten Cop
funny. There's what?
That's a top 9 for me.
What are you talking about? You can't make Arnold funny. Just listen to him talk. Of course, you can make it funny.
I mean, look at True Wives.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not fun. That's not why that movie is successful, because he's not funny in that either.
Oh, he's hilarious in it. What the hell are you talking about, man?
You're crazy.
Stop shooting me up. You're fired. They're going to torture us to death, or they're going to leave us here until the bomb goes off. Yeah, Aaron. This Conan does have a really good score.
Yeah, isn't the same guy that did RoboCop?
I couldn't tell you that. Let me go.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy that did RoboCop, the first one. So
Basil Polidorus. Yeah, he did RoboCop. He did Red Dawn. Did Red October, Starship Troopers. So he's been around quite a lot.
Yeah.
Wash your enemies, see them before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. Oh, William, to hell with you!
I don't even know what accent that even sounds like. It's not an Austrian accent. But...
Oh, this is coming up here where he punches the camel.
Yeah.
This is rude. Punching out the camel. Why so serious? Need to get the Arrow 4K Blu-ray of Conan.
Yeah, I have the Arrow Blu-ray edition to it, the newest one, and it comes with the extended cut, which that's the version I'm watching right now. Do you have the Arrow Blu-ray or no?
Any Blu-rays, pretty much.
No, I'm talking to Brad.
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Okay. Do you collect Arrow or like South Factory or no?
Do I what?
Do you like collecting Arrow Blu-rays in South Factory or no?
I mean, I have some here. I know I have the Arrow one of our RoboCop and have a few others.
Yeah.
Like Shout Factory, they do pretty good for themselves. Like
they got a couple of good ones.
Yeah. By the way, remember when I say that Arnold barely talks this movie? He has maybe like half a dozen lines total to Valeria in this entire movie. Oh, Arrow is they're a DVD and Blu-ray distributor stateside, and they do a lot of kind of like commemorative releases for like stuff
It's
from the 80s.
mostly like for like cult classics type
Yeah,
movies. But they're pretty good. They could do a lot of good interviews and a lot of good special
Yeah,
features.
they tend to pack it with special features.
Yeah, and they'll sometimes do like unreleased like director's cuts of movies or like extended versions. Like they're pretty good, and that same goes with South Factory. So yeah, definitely check them out. This girl's actually pretty good in this. I don't know who this woman is, but I actually like her in this.
Is Sandal Bergman plays Valeria.
That's her name, Valerian? Yeah.
Valeria. She's actually in Weird Tales too.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to go ahead and put that link into the chat for you guys who want to study them.
And actually, she also came back in Red Sonja, because Red Sonja was like that was the whole thing where it's like it was supposed to be like Conan 3, and there was like a rights dispute or something. So
Yeah. That was always weird to me because I always thought that was Conan, but they had to change it to a different.
Yeah, so they basically just kind of like bullshitted their way in like creating like a Conan knockoff.
Yeah. That actually wasn't a bad movie. I actually liked that one a lot. But then again, I'm a big kind of Red Sonja fan. I love those comic books, and yeah, I'm a big. Yeah, it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, Tulsa Dome actually had a skull for a head. He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't. He wasn't looking like Spinal Tap.
Yeah, apparently it's I mean, it just was news to me that this thing actually got made.
Yeah, it's from Millennium Media. They're like one of my favorite studios.
Yeah,
so
they apparently at one point they were going to try to make it with Bryan Singer. So
yeah, he had to drop out for good reasons. Yeah, what a nutcase that guy turned out to be.
Yeah, and I think about it is I don't even know like how much you like a tree. Like his whole body of work. I mean, he's a
great filmmaker,
but there's so many stories of him like just being a no-show on set or like being
especially like what happened on like Bohemian Rhapsody. They had to like fire him, and he had to like get someone else to like do like what do you?
I don't even know how much to like attribute like his like with the X-Men movies or with like
I mean,
How much-
he's made 3 of the best ones, so
yeah,
that's
but
what's
I
kind of
don't even
sucks.
know how much to attribute that to him though, because again, it's like he's
Who would you
so
attribute it to?
I don't know. That's like whoever stepped in to pinch it for him, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Roman Polanski. I mean, the guy may be a dirtbag, but he is a very good filmmaker, so.
I remember Brandon Routh mentioning he was like on Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, and he finally kind of came out and said, "Yeah, I did. It's Singer was not the easiest guy to work with when I was Superman Returns."
Yeah. I think a lot of people have said that nowadays. Even Howie Bailey said that recently. Like, yeah.
Brian Singer, oof, I remember. Yeah, all the notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some issues. William, you're mute, man.
Yeah, more treating women like gold here in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's again. That's where I kind of say it's like you try to make this movie in this way today. Yeah, there would be.
Yeah, but isn't
like,
Game of Thrones like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
I
So
mean,
maybe
Game
they
of
could
Thrones
actually pull it
technically did
off, I don't
stuff
know.
like this, so it's like, I mean, you technically do it.
Game of
so.
Thrones, I mean, you're counting on it in Game of Thrones. I mean, here they're feeding them the snakes. I mean, they get fed to dragons in Game of Thrones. So
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I should walk that back. It's like if you can make Game of Thrones that like it was.
I mean, Amelia Clark's character in the first couple of seasons gets sodomized, raped,
Yeah.
sold into slavery by her own brother, or
Yeah.
whored out by her own brother who wants to bang her, and gets mad because Jason Momoa's characters they've fallen in love for real, and that wasn't supposed to happen. So it's interrupting his incest. I mean, Game of Thrones is
Yeah.
Fuck,
there's no joke.
Have you read those books?
I did. This is one of the
Yeah.
last books I read.
I am telling you, George R.R. Martin. He has completed the books, and he has it in his will. It's like they can only be published posthumously. He's just do that the ultimate troll on everybody.
Most people don't care about those books though, because
No,
the
they
show
don't care
is,
anymore.
Game of
I'm
Thrones.
telling you, man, that's gonna happen.
Nah.
Yeah, but here's the thing though, it'll be like a tree falling in the forest. Nobody's gonna care.
No,
Nah.
I highly disagree there. That is gonna make so. That would be
Why?
like the ultimate like troll move on the
On who?
Godfather of the franchise. On everybody who's a fan of the franchise.
I host Game of Thrones screenings. You would be surprised that most of these people don't even know the books exist. And they get mad because somebody like me who had read them, knows what's about to happen. I guarantee you, I could have filled up a room and with 80 people, and we did. Most of those people did not even know they were books.
So everybody, we're gonna make this bet right now. When George R.R. Martin, like when that scenario I've laid out happens, like posthumously the finished books in the book series, it's like William has to do a watch party of Jingle All the Way like 3 times over the course of December.
Even if he does that, I'm not disputing that he would. No one's going to care. Nobody cares about the Game of Thrones books.
No, I'm saying it's like he's going to do that, and people are going to care. And that's like, and when that happens,
who though?
It's a legally binding thing now. William has volunteered to do that.
95% of the audience is from the show. They don't care about the books. They just don't care.
They're going to care when this happens.
Why would they? Because the movies, the shows have moved beyond.
They're gonna look back and say it's like we're gonna care because the last book is better than the last season that we all bitched about.
No,
nobody.
Game of Thrones is the shows to modern pop culture.
Because those first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones are so good. It's just the fact that they had to just
Well, the first dude,
By the
it
way- by
doesn't
the way-
go south until midway through.
And by the way, we're in the middle of our third sex scene in the last
Yeah.
half hour here. Yeah,
Conan-
you're into
like the
the
middle.
sex. This movie is like, and that's not even like when they have like the raid on Thulsa Doom's. I just said the raid on Thulsa Doom's palace later on. There's like a big orgy going on there. So this movie is.
This is Bible times. I mean, Bible times was kind of like this back in the day.
Well, again, like it's the Hyborian age, as
Yeah.
Robert E. Howard could see. It's his version of of what's called antediluvian Earth, which antediluvian means before the flood.
Yeah.
And again, Conan has said maybe 2 words to her so far in this movie,
He said a couple of things.
but to her, it's like he's already like they're already having nookie, and it's like she's done all the talking.
Would you be down with doing a Jason Momoa Conan Weiss stream watch along after this?
Well, not right
Yeah,
after this.
No, I meant like in like the future.
I would be there for that.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one.
Yeah, I will defend that one. I will absolutely defend that. Well, although even Jason, he wasn't too happy with how it turned out, apparently. But,
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, it's just him bitching and moaning. It's not that bad.
well, and that,
I mean, it's
that's
not
always,
this, though. It's
well,
not
that's
the
always
original,
kind
but
of
it's-
like a weird position to be in, where it's like the writers or directors or cast involved, or they express dissatisfaction with the finished product, and like you really like it. So, sometimes that'll just happen.
doesn't matter. Listen, the books are there. Nobody cares about those books. Nobody cares about the you
Telling
go
you
to
that's gonna break the internet when that happens. And when we do that, and my prediction is right, William has agreed to his
How's that gonna-
watch party.
okay. This show is Game of Thrones. That's it. That's it. It doesn't. Why do you think nobody cares that this man has not released his book? Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
It's gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. I'm predicting
No,
this
I'm
right
not
now.
saying it's
And as we
not.
all
I'm
know,
not
I
saying
have
it's
literally never been incorrect about anything in my entire life.
Okay, that's just laughable. But yeah, but nobody. Listen, I read those books. I don't care if George Martin ever releases another book. I do care if there's ever more Game of Thrones released on HBO Max or Max though.
Hey, man, we got House of Dragons, so there's that.
I do not care about that man and his books.
Telling
I
you.
got what the books did what they needed to do for us. That got the franchise going. It got a franchise going that nobody reads the books about. Nobody. It's not like Harry Potter.
Well,
You
you
know,
heard
but
it here,
the sad-
everybody. William has agreed. He will watch
No, I
all the way
agreed to
3 times
shit.
in a row.
I don't read the shit. I'm telling you that nobody
No,
cares.
I told everybody. William agreed. Therefore, it's
But
true.
you're bringing up these books as if anybody cares if they ever get released. Now we got what we needed from the books. We don't need
No,
anything
but
more.
it's a
Nobody
legally
cares.
binding contract that I pulled out of my ass and I bullshitted my
Yeah,
way
okay.
through, so
All
that
right,
William would
sure.
agree to it.
Yeah, nobody. You're not missing much if you're looking for.
Oh
a
no,
Conan
Aaron,
movie.
I do like the
No, the
It's
Jason
not a
Momoa
good
one's
Conan
pretty
movie.
fun.
It's not. You see, hold on. You guys liking a movie? It's Conan. That's
And that-
part of its
That
appeal.
gave
If
me
it's
the
not a good
confidence that he
Conan
would be
movie,
a great Aquaman. That's
that's
all
so
matters
what?
to me.
That's not Conan. If you fail at your adaptation, that's part of the quality of the movie. It's like the Punisher movies. They're not bad in that respect, but
Hey,
they
man,
fail
Punisher
as Punisher
Warzone
movies.
is absolutely
Is not a Punisher
bonkers.
movie.
It's great.
Okay, if you don't know the character, yeah, it's great. It's just another a garden variety vigilante who's been wronged, gets some guns, gets some knives, beats up a bunch of people on his way. And that's all it is. If you know the character, which I don't expect everybody watching to know the character, but it is based on a comic character, then you
By the way, this,
understand the flaws there.
This is Max von Sydow playing. I always called him Old King Cole here, but he's King Osric.
This is after Flash Gordon. But yeah, Punisher War Journal, we're never watching that movie, by the way.
Dude, I put up money for that one. We're gonna watch it one
No,
day.
you didn't. We didn't put up for War Journal.
Yeah, I did.
We cleared all your movies, buddy. I know
No.
we did not put up
Well,
for
I'll do
War
it
Journal.
again.
We're not doing. Like I said, I've already seen it, and I'm not gonna. The title will be just another vigilante movie. I'm not gonna put Punisher in it because it's not a Punisher movie. It's watchable by all means, but it's not a Punisher movie.
I thought Don't you love Punisher Warzone, Brad, or no?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's a bit of a kind of cult favorite of mine.
Yeah. It's what I describe as
It's the one
Death
that has
Wish.
Loopy and Jim in it.
Change the name of it. Change the name of it to
No, think of the
another
movie.
vigilante movie, and then it's
No,
great because that's
no,
what it achieves.
William. Think of the movie as Death Wish 3 on steroids, because that's pretty much what it is.
That's fine. That's fine, but that's not the Punisher.
Yeah.
Call it that. Rename it that. That's
It's
a great
pretty
name
much
for
like a
it.
modern day canon film.
That's the only good thing about his Ray Stevens in the Bible.
Nah,
Well, that's all the movie. It's a garden variety vigilante movie. You slap a skull on it, that doesn't make it the Punisher.
It's the one from 2008 with Ray Stevenson, Iron.
Yeah, that one's fun, man. That one's a lot of fun.
Once
I
again,
love
if
that
you
film.
judge it on just basic, generic, whatever, fine. If you're judging it, if you judge it as a Punisher movie, like I said, it fails all of those tests. It fails them miserably. It could still be a good movie and fail to be what it is. Some movies are just good, but they're not. When you start talking about comic book adaptation, like I said, the less you know about Punisher, the less you understand. That's why I did that feature last night, because there's just a lot of people that don't realize, if you've never read the source material, that's fine. But when you start getting into the nuts and bolts with somebody who has, you're speaking a different language. You're not speaking a language I understand, because you're comparing generic bullshit that's in every fucking vigilante movie going back to Death Wish and saying that that's the Punisher. Saying you enjoyed those movies is great. I enjoyed those movies. But now we're talking about, is the character what the character is? It's like somebody doing a Spider-Man movie and just wearing a fucking t-shirt with a white spider on it and jumping up and down.
Okay, that is way too far with that analogy, man.
Is an entertaining movie? Is it an entertaining movie about somebody jumping up and down with a spider shirt? Great, I had fun watching it. But is it Spider-Man?
No, that analogy is way.
Because like I said,
sorry.
The more you know about the Punisher, you cannot really make that statement with a straight face. You can call it a great movie.
Again.
You can call it a great movie, but you're telling me you don't know anything about the character when you say it's a great Punisher movie. I just have to ignore you because now you're speaking gibberish.
What do you think about the TV show one?
That's the only one. There's only one live action Punisher. And the other ones are
the
just
first season's actually really great.
Yeah,
I didn't see the second one, but
even
I love the
that
first
one's
season.
not perfect because Frank Castle doesn't give as much a shit in Punisher as he does in Daredevil. He's not that sensitive. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
his reasons are his reasons, and you can kiss his ass as far as he's concerned. He'll explain them to you, but he ain't changing shit. And he ain't crying either. Frank Castle sheds no more tears after his family was put into the ground.
But yeah, when I last year though, I was gonna tell you, like, when last year when I met Rose McGowan, what's his comment?
2004 Punisher Netflix series. So like you're halfway right, Azteca. You are 50% correct. You are 50% correct.
I mean,
like
the Thomas Jane one isn't bad at all. It's actually pretty decent.
It's not a bad movie. I'm not saying these are bad movies. They're not Punisher movies. I mean, like I said, there are thousands of really, really good vigilante movies.
I never thought you would make me agree with Chappie this much, man.
Well, you're both wrong. I mean, that's all it is.
But we just established. I've
literally
never been incorrect about anything in my entire life. And it's not going to happen now.
Legit question, and we'll get back to Conan. What are you basing your opinion of those non-Barenthal performances on? What are you basing your opinion saying those are good Punisher movies? Not whether they're good movies or not. That's another topic. That's not even a question. What are you, when you say they're good Punisher movies, what are you basing that on?
Yeah, but can't you say the same thing about The Shining?
No. What are you basing that on? Are you basing that on a generic perception of a really cool movie with a guy who kills a lot of people? That's fine. But are you basing it on the DNA and what is the Punisher and what makes the Punisher special? I did that last night for a reason. So,
but I have literally never been incorrect about anything in my entire life.
So you're not going to give me a serious answer. That's fine.
But that's the only answer I need.
No,
yeah, but
it's not.
Yeah, but can't you say the same thing
Uh,
about the Shining movie? Like, isn't the Shining movie not
Oh,
really
Shining, that's a
accurate
whole
to the
different
book?
situation, man.
No, because you're talking about an entire atmosphere and a whole bunch of other things that
Well,
make up what The Shining is.
And by the way, it's like I mean, joking aside, it's like because I was of course, was conversing with William on the show last night about like the main thing that he's getting at is the fact that Bernthal is the only version that it has a contrast in Daredevil or the Marvel characters and the fact that Punisher is meant to be a contrast character. Again, that's the kind of the X factor that he has that Lundgren and Jane and Stevenson did. So that kind of like you lose a little bit of the essence of the Punisher. So I can see that readily. But on the other hand, again, it's like I've literally never been wrong about anything. So that trumps me as
It's
well.
an opinion, but being in all seriousness, though, there's a reason why you adapted the character. If you weren't going to do the things that the character does, then
One more on Punisher. And then we'll get
How
back
do
to
you
Conan.
feel about Fantastic Four, 2005?
I hated it.
It's easy as hell, but so are they.
Yeah, I mean, 2005 ain't that bad either. I mean, that one's a pretty okay
It's
one.
terrible. I hated that one.
Oh, come on, Brad. Okay, you're just crazy.
89 Punisher is my favorite, and I'm saying it's a great movie. Hey, like I said, it's.
The Dolph Lundgren one is bad.
I just saw that the trailer for that Punisher Warzone and it looks like a fan film. He doesn't even have. Well, he has a skull in Warzone.
Not in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Not in the original trailer. He does it. And once again, it's just
that's the thing that always kind of annoyed me with the preceding movies is how reticent they were with the skull. It's either appearing very faded or it's only on the hilt of the knife. That always did kind of annoy me.
Yeah, that was the symbol of the Punisher. The Death's Head. It's what it's called.
Yes.
That is what there's something behind it. But once again, when you don't keep to the core of things, it's just a skull on his chest.
But they
That's
can't
all it
keep
is.
the core of things if they don't have if they can't legally show other characters, though. Which in those previous versions they couldn't.
Well, for whatever reason they couldn't. That's okay, but it's just not Punisher. It's a vigilante movie. It's a good vigilante movie, but it's not the Punisher.
And here's Mako as the wizard. Of course, he's the narrator of Conan.
Wasn't he in Samurai Jack?
Mako, he was in like 10,000 things.
Because I know he voiced a lot of anime characters.
He's actually
he voiced Uncle Iroh on Avatar, so
yeah,
very near.
Because I would know he was the main guy in he was the main villain in Samurai Jack.
Yeah, he had a career that started from 1959 and ended in 2007 posthumously.
Yeah, he passed away in 2000.
Was it old age?
He was
he's 72, so he wasn't like.
Oh no, he's only 72. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in good health. Let me see. Hold on, it says down here.
Yeah, he also came back for Conan the Destroyer. God.
Yeah, he was in Conan the Destroyer.
That's not a highlight.
Yeah, he had esophageal cancer. Ooh, wow.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
That's actually I've known people have had that.
Not Eddie Mercury. What the fuck? Eddie Van Halen had that because it started from his tongue and went down to his esophagus.
He also was oh god, this is another. He was the incoming CEO of OCP and RoboCop 3.
Yeah.
RoboCop 3 was a really
RoboCop 3 is bad.
Yeah. Man. The only RoboCop movies I like is only the first two.
Yeah.
The first two are great. RoboCop 3 is great.
He was very underrated.
Yeah, no, I love 2. I don't get why people shit on 2. 2's
made
really
a lot
underrated.
of money. It made a lot of money, and unfortunately, that meant let's do a 3, which they just. Yeah.
The reason why 3 was so bad is because all they cared about was selling toys. It was basically like Batman and Robin because all they cared about.
And how many toys did they sell?
Yeah, nothing.
And the reason why they're because the now police brutality
that has gotten very controversial.
That's why they changed it to that goat-looking logo in the thing, which is absolutely abysmal.
Yeah, that's
Punisher hates cops.
Does he have the same logo on the new TV show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank God.
And I think they've gone back to it in the comics.
And
the Punisher hates cops. The cops are the ones using it. He hates cops.
And I'm sure he's going to have it on Daredevil Born Again too.
Yeah, they've already shown. Yeah, he's got that. They showed that at Comic-Con. They showed
that one thing they do. One thing I appreciate that Bernthal with his skull they do is is again, like I said, one thing that kind of annoyed me with the previous versions. Again, you either had just had the skull on the hilt of the knife, or Jane and Stevenson, they had the skull, but it was shown as being very faded, and with Bernthal, they presented as being very prominent, very just pristine white against the black of the Kevlar vest, and so that's they're really leaning into that aspect of it. It's something I really appreciate. 1989 Dolph Lundgren punched me. Well, that was Dolph during his heyday too. This is like these are coming right off.
It's
of,
not that
Rocky
good
IV.
though. That's probably the least favorite of the three.
87, well, I mean, this goes without saying. 87 RoboCop is the best of the franchise.
Yeah, 1 and 2. I like 1 and 2 the best. I wonder what was the big deal back in the day that like studios cared about selling toys, especially what happened with like Batman and Robin and
They
like
still care about
RoboCop
selling
3.
That's where the money was at. That's
Yeah,
how
they still care about it.
Yeah, but like
They never stopped caring about it. They never.
But why neuter your product down just because like you want to target to like a different
Because there's a lot of
demographic? And why not?
that's snorting a lot of cocaine.
Well, and a lot of them didn't even use the project because Aliens was one of the most violent movies ever, and they were making toys of that.
Oh,
for kids.
I remember like the toy line commercials, like, and that's why like those aired like the Alien. They had like the Flying Queen action figure and that movie called Eight Tax. I remember that airing with like around 95. I've seen like on Cartoon Network, and
because they were really aiming towards the parents who would buy those toys for their kids.
Because I and that made me think, because I hadn't seen any of the Alien movies at that age, but that made me think they were very. This is like something that was like coming out right now at the time, and then I go finally see them, rent them at Blockbuster, and I see the tag on there. So the first one comes out in '79, the second one came out in '86, and this toy line that's we're seeing advertised in like '95. It's led to a lot of confusion in my child brain about the lineage of the Alien franchise. We've gotten way off topic from Conan. We got to get back on Conan now.
No, but it's just stupid to me that like Warner Brothers got so butthurt over McDonald's Happy Meal toys. That's why we got Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. So
by the way, I think this part with the Tulsa Doom Colt. You look at the hoods they're wearing. I don't know if this would fly today either.
Well, didn't they kind of do this in Midsummer?
You're talking about the A24.
Yeah, the whole movie Midsummer.
Yeah, but that's a little bit more like Wicker Man in terms of like the Colt they have.
Yeah.
Again, look at the hoods they're wearing. It's like I could see this like ruffling some feathers because look at the hoods.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I don't know. Like I said, people just get
apparently
so sensitive nowadays.
He's built up quite a cult. He has like probably good 2,000 followers here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like Jonestown in like the Hyborian Age. Oh, Antonio, it's funny you should mention this. 2 years, the Dolph Lee did the He-Man movie after
yeah, I love his He-Man movie. I don't care what.
It's funny you should mention that because no, I don't like it, Chappie. But it's funny you should mention that because
God, dude, you're killing me right now, dude. Fantastic Four and this, God, man, you're killing me right now. I love this He-Man movie.
Well,
what did you say?
I remember seeing this on the because again, I wasn't familiar with the Conan source material when I first saw this, so seeing like the DVD on the shelf at when I was like 14, whatever it was. I mean, this I thought was He-Man. I thought this was basically like He-Man related.
No.
So
He-Man's way more sharper than Conan.
Yeah, but I mean, just like from seeing like the cover on the shelf is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Before actually seeing the movie.
But I do have a bit of a soft spot for the Dolph Lundgren one. It's not great, but that's
an understatement.
It means a lot to my childhood. That's all. It's like Cat in a Hat to me.
And by the way, we're never doing a watch party of that again.
What?
Cat in the Hat.
I mean, we did do it to Howard the Duck 2 times, so who knows?
Yeah, we're not doing that ever again.
Clint Pace where it was.
Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with the sequel. I just thought it was not written. What sequel are you talking about? Are you talking about with Conan the Destroyer?
Yeah, Conan the Destroyer was trash.
Well, again, so to go from R to PG, and then not only that, it's clear they're clearly going from like the tone they established here to like being like more of like a kid's fantasy. It's
bad.
What do you guys talking about? Hold on, I have to take.
about the jump from Conan the Barbarian to Conan the Destroyer.
Oh yeah, Conan the
Again, it's
Destroyer
like
was
RoboCop 3. It's
bad.
like, why would you establish you have a hard-R character that's made for an R-rated movie? You put that in like in a PG movie. Like, what are you doing? Like, why do you care that much to sell like stupid toys? Like, what are you? What are you doing? Like, do you really think this is gonna work though? But I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of execs in Hollywood who have their heads up their asses.
Yeah,
dude, that fucking movie. All right, Conan the Destroyer is one of those movies where it's like it's a horrible movie, but damn, was it successful. God, this movie was filmed for $18 million. It made $26 million to $31 million at the box office,
wow.
and then it turned around and made $30 more million in rentals. That's undeserved success, right there.
Yeah.
It's considered It's considered a hit on every.
There are bad movies that become hits all the time.
Hey, I mean, we did Jaws 3D, and Jaws 3D made over like 80 million worldwide. So
that's because you can't take money back. That's why.
Yeah,
if you could offer refunds, you'd probably lost.
It was a really sharp drop off too from like what the original Jaws, because the original Jaws is the biggest movie ever made at the time.
Yeah,
and Jaws 3 was just. It's just awful. The fact that it was 3D was more of an insult. In an era where they had done 3D movies really good. We just watched one, Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D, released basically within the same 18-month period and for less money. So where'd the money go? That movie's offensively bad. When that shark comes out and stops, I remember sitting in the theater, everybody was looking at each other like, what the fuck was that? People were taking off their glasses and throwing them down. It was like I said, the movie was awful, dude.
I mean, it's bad, but it's my kind of bad, but it's my kind of crap. I like it. Out of the crappy Jaws sequels that we have, Jaws 3D is the one I watch the most.
It's fried your brain. Then I guess I don't know what's going on with you. It has had an adverse effect.
Yeah, I mean, I was just with you on the whole Punisher talk, and it's like you lost me now on this, man.
Yeah, Conan. It was one of the first movies that they got in wide release, 1984. They would show it. In loop. I'm like, what in the hell? This movie's. Oh, that movie was awful, dude. And it made and then they had a deal because they had to sell back then. HBO bought movies. They purchased movies.
Yeah.
So the studio made even more money off of that. I'm like, this movie does not deserve that.
Hey, but that's why we got the Jason Momoa one afterwards. Like I said, at least that went back to his always.
Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway, who are two comic book legends, wrote that movie.
Which one?
Roy Thomas. Like
Roy Thomas and Jerry Conway, and the guy who created the Punisher. The guy who created the Punisher wrote Conan.
Wait, which one?
No, he created a lot of like big characters. I mean, he
created Killer Croc. He created
which one is it? The movie or the comic book?
Luke Cage, Ghost Rider.
He created the Punisher. He created Ben Reilly, Scarlet Spider. He created Miss Marvel. He wrote a lot of major stories. I don't know what was in the Gone to the Night.
1,000,
That was some bad weed that night. He did money back.
Yeah,
hey, here's more great women treatment here. There you go.
Yeah, like as William said, here's the part where he just motions to the girls like, "Hey, just dive off the roof for me." And what's crazy
he is really great in this. I do love James Earl Jones in this.
And by the way,
I just can't get Spinal Tap out of my head.
And by the way, that was clearly like a real stunt. They had like a stunt person drop there, so I'd love to know.
Yeah, you could see the thing. You could see the inflatable thing.
Yeah,
just hit it.
So it's this is how you had to do it back then before you had green screen. It was a widely in practice kind of thing.
Gary Conway was at Comic-Con too. I got a chance to meet him. Oh my goodness, this movie was an all-star cast too, by the way.
Yeah,
Conan the Destroyer, they went all out That's why it was a PG-13 movie, because they had a
Yeah,
lot
they
of
had
big
Sarah
names.
Douglas. She was coming right off of Superman 2.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. I remember. Oh my God, I couldn't believe that was her. Grace Jones is in this movie.
Yep.
Mako is in this movie. Sarah Douglas is in the movie.
And
Olivia D'Abo,
Ole
Lucy Walker.
Thorson. Sven Ole Thorson, they go on to and that guy's had a hell of a career, and a lot of it with Arnold.
That movie was really bad. Okay, gotta meet you, Brad. You're killing me. Change that headset. This scene is like legendary.
The crucifixion of Conan.
Well, the bird.
Yeah, and it's like I felt sorry for this buzzard too, where he bites the buzzard in the throat.
It's yeah, but it's pretty good practical effects go. Like the practical effects actually
That's
looks
how
pretty
tough
good.
Conan was.
By the way, are you guys familiar with the Nostalgia Critic?
Yeah.
He did
Doug.
about 10 years ago. He did reviews of Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer, and this made me bust out laughing when he got to this part of Conan being crucified. And he said, "Oh, the worst part is he's nailed up right next to Eric Idle, and he plays the clip of him in Life of Brian going, 'Always look on the light side of life.'"
He's a funny
By
guy.
the
I
way,
actually
when
kind
you
of
have
like him.
nails put through your hands, there's usually no coming back from that. You'll bleed out. Conan the Barbarian was shot for $20 million and it made $79 million.
That's a lot of money.
And this
Yeah,
is
pretty
before
good.
Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh,
I mean, before even VHS was in wide circulation.
when did VHS come out?
VHS came out in the 70s, but most people didn't have it until the 80s.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean that was also back when you had VHS and Betamax, and that was like the format battle for a couple of years.
And nobody had Betamax, even though it was the better of the two. No, it was 3 times more expensive.
And
So like the news cameras and the movies were shot on Betamax, but nobody household. You had like one guy in your neighborhood that might have one.
And William, what you're talking about there, because again, I grew up once VHS was in wide circulation. I mean, that's just so, because that makes my mind think about I've never known life where it's movies are released in theaters and a few months later you rent them. It's like that's like just so inconceivable.
You're basically calling me old, so fuck you.
No, but really, what was that like? I mean, so you see this in theaters.
You know what? To be honest, in all honesty, it is the thing that is the most of value to my life to have existed when these things were not taken for granted, but when the moment was the event and the event was the movie. You went all in. It was a gamble. When you went to the movie, you could get a classic like a Blade Runner, or you could get some shit like Howard the Duck or Fear City. That was the risk. That was your
Or
time.
Judge
That was your
Judy.
valuable. You went to the movies and you didn't know what you could get. You were hoping for a good time, but the event itself was going to the movies, going out. and you knew it was going to be you may never, back when I was a kid, you may never see these movies because we didn't have cable. TV was still burgeoning thing, so you might, and when it did come out, you had to wait a year, and you had to wait, it was like it came out in the movie theaters, and then within a year, or within 8 months it was on VHS, and within a year it was on the cable. So that's what we had. So we had to watch it. And the same thing with TV. We have DVR, we have all these things right now. We can pause TV, we can record TV. That's what's kind of taken away the event feel of TV shows in some cases, unless it's HBO on Sunday, is because that was the day. Like when you watched Knight Rider, or when you watched A-Team, when you watched The Incredible Hulk, those are on Fridays. And if you missed it, your ass better wait till the summertime to watch the reruns when they reran certain episodes over the summertime. TV had an event feel. Now the only time TV is an event feel if it's live, or if it's Game of Thrones, or whatever HBO puts on Sunday. So in a way, you've grown up without that. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I had that contrast, because I look at what we have now and I can appreciate what we have now, but at the same time, I can appreciate going to the movies with the family, going to the movies with the old man, and it was an event. It wasn't just going through the motions. You know what? I don't have time. Because look at what I've turned into now. Most of the movies I go to, if I don't go to the premiere, it's on streaming.
Yeah, it's on streaming,
I Blue Beetle it.
Yeah,
I Blue Beetle it. And if it's something I'm not excited about, see, back then you made yourself excited for that movie because that was the event. These days it's different, but it's a different world. But yeah, having VHS, having all that stuff, and having an event, I feel sorry for people who didn't have that, who all they've had is this, because you don't have that contrast. You only have when you grow up and then streaming and everything else.
It's a dichotomy where it's like, because there's so many avenues to see these things now. Post theatrical, where it's basically where it's like you're never not going to have the opportunity to pull up something that's once it's been made. It's like there's 10 different ways to see it now, and again, it's like I've never known life without that. And so thinking about periods like the 70s, or like even like going back further, like the 40s, 50s, and or 30s, like the Wizard of Oz came out. It's like I mean that's just I can't. Yeah, it's so hard for
mega event.
It's so hard for my mind to get around the idea that it's like a movie would like play in a theater for a while, and then it's like if you missed it, you missed it. It's you got to hope for there's going to be like some kind of commemorative release down the road, and it's more like seeing a play or like seeing like a sporting event than what it is now, where it's like you can pull these things back up at perpetuity, just anytime. It's just pull them up ad nauseum now.
That's why like Super Bowls and NBA. That's why those things in UFC and boxing. And even wrestling. Even though wrestling is staged, it's a live event. It's a live communal event, and that's what movies were to us back then. That's what bookstores. Like I said, I dread for you individuals who grew up where bookstores weren't as relevant as they were when I was growing up. I am a product of the comic book store. I am a product of the B. Dalton bookseller. I am a product of the Walden Books and the Barnes and Nobles. But Borders, I am definitely a product of Borders, and my mind works the way those things were presented to me back then. And I wish this generation, and I wish the generations that came after had that. I know it's easy to sit home and play the video games. That's fun. I'm not saying that's fun. And to get on the internet, we're on the internet right now, but to only have that and not have that, hey, let's go hang out at the bookstore, like Forth was talking about, like when in the 90s, we would go to to Borders and play Magic. You would go to Borders, right, and get books about Magic and shit like that, because I would get them for my tournaments, right? You would run into some other cat there, and guess what guess what we had in our pockets? We both had a deck. That's the way it was in the 90s. If you were a Magic geek like I was, you didn't go nowhere without your deck. Your 60 card minimum, if you had it, 50 card thing. I had a red and blue. I carried it in my little plastic case. And if you ran into somebody, it was like Highlander. You knew what they were up to. You saw that bulge in their back pocket. And we would sit down. Borders had the little coffee bean, whatever. And we would sit down and we'd start playing, right? And then all of a sudden, we'd have this crowd around us. And then there's another table that pops up. People who had never met each other are now sitting here playing Magic. And that's the kind of things that bookstores and these kind of places that bring that you can't get from the internet. Internet is convenience and it is great.
That's why I miss video rental stores.
That's what I'm saying. Blockbusters were huge. And not just Blockbusters. There's the mom and pops ones, the Hollywood,
video.
You know,
Yeah.
the Joe's Video Shack type of place where the guy knew you. He knew you, and he knew what kind of movie you wanted, right? And that because you rented, the family would come in, right? So that guy, when you came in the next time, he reached me on the counter and he had some shit for you that he knew you wanted to see.
And that's
And you know,
yeah, and then that's like you talk about like quote unquote like renting a movie now. I mean, like the most if you don't find it like on a streaming platform that's that you're already subscribed to, like the most the most inconvenience you have, or the most like arduous aspect of it you have for renting it is like plopping down like $3 to like do the PVOD form of it.
yeah. Remember Saturday night? Yeah, remember that little logo that they have, this big silver logo,
Yeah.
and it would come down and then it would go through the city. Yeah, Saturday night was that. Yeah, and it would premiere on Saturday. That was a big deal, man. 9:00 Saturday night. That was a big deal. And I think that the family structure, whatever family you have, whether it's a single parent or whatever, that's what we did, man. When we weren't at the movies, and we went to the movies a lot when we were kids. We went to the movies to see this. If we weren't at the movies, because sometimes money wasn't plentiful all the time. There was a payment there. We weren't rich, but if we couldn't spend time at the movies, guess what? That HBO show, that Saturday was a big family day for TV. So yeah, I really, like I said, to answer your question, I appreciate what we have now with the technology and all that, but man, I feel I am one of the luckiest people in the world to have experienced the shit when it was an event. Superman 2, Man's Chinese Theater, that was a major event. Empire Strikes Back, Man's Chinese Theater, that was a major event. And those are memories. You're talking about 30, 40 years ago, and those memories are as vivid to me as
That's how I felt about when I saw the first Avengers.
Yeah, but even with that, it's like, again, it was on Blu-ray within 6 months. So.
No, I meant like in theaters.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that, but there was never a situation where it's like you weren't going to be able to see that again within a very short time frame.
Yeah.
Now it's convenient, but but plus there's a lot more movies being released now than there was then, so you can kind of understand where you're going with. But at the same time, it's just not.
And I mean, it's for the studios. I mean, the advent of home media and streaming, obviously, they love it because they provided them with a whole other, pillar for to generate revenue. So back when
and some movies, to be honest with you, some movies wouldn't get made. Some movies wouldn't get made if they weren't going to
have home media or streaming. Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, Play is pretty much the reason why that movie got made. Right? Was it because of streaming?
Well,
they
it
didn't
was.
Want to put it in theaters.
Yeah, they were going to put it in theaters, but because that horrific The Predator was absolute trash, and that hurt. That movie was supposed to go in the theaters, but
I like that movie.
You know what, dude? Whatever, man. There's nothing I can do for you.
Like everything you're saying there, Roy. It's like I feel very fortunate to have been born or to have grown up in the time where it's like I've never known life where it's like something I saw theatrically, I didn't within a matter of at most 6 months have the ability to get my hands on it again and just like play it ad infinitum anytime for the rest of my life. But like everything you're saying also is very true. Also, where the trade-off from that is like you kind of back before that was a readily available option that made going to see something theatrically like akin to going to see like like an NBA game or going to see some kind of big like one-off event. It made it special because of the infrequency of it.
Yeah, it was a special thing. And like I said, even now, grown up me is like I have to take advantage of that technology because I don't have the time to go see some of these movies. I can't afford for me to go see a shitty movie and have that risk taken. I just don't have the time. I might only get to see one movie a month at some time. When I was a kid, we went every week, and it was special.
Well, even if you watch it at home, you get pissed off like Smile 2.
Well, yeah, Smile 2, and then that's the kind of movie as a kid that the old man would have walked. The old man would have been pissed because he was everything for the movie. If we'd have had Smile 2 and that shit ending that Smile 2 had,
that's my favorite horror movie.
I could hear the whole man. I could hear the whole man.
Great, man.
And it wasn't a bad movie. It just the decisions that they made towards the end were that's the kind of shit you didn't do with people's money back in the 80s. You didn't fuck with people like that. That ending was stupid.
By the way, we're in our like at least our fourth sex scene this movie.
Yeah,
with this
look at this
going on.
orgy right here.
This is true to Conan.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
And now the nudity and sometimes in the comics. All right, so and same thing with Game of Thrones. The women of that era were going to, like Cersei said, the biggest weapon you have is between your legs, and that's a quote from Cersei. And they in certain characters, especially in Conan, when they were trying to seduce him, and they knew he was a sex hungry, thing, and they would use their feminine wiles to manipulate him. Because let's face it, even in the comic books, Conan is very crafty, he's very resourceful, but he's not the brightest bulb on the tree. So he could be manipulated, and topless chicks. They would be, topless chicks come out. Conan, I need a warrior to wipe out my enemy. Conan's like, no, I'm not going to be manipulated. And then takes her top off, and now she's naked. Here comes Conan. That's how they wrote him, and it's like he was, and there were orgies like this. Like I said, the orgies that you're watching, the only thing difference between the orgies now and the comics is they were naked. They just weren't following. I don't think they were regulated by any comic books code. They were considered a magazine. That's why.
Yeah. Well, also, I mean, how long did the comics code last? I mean, that they started that like in the 60s, but that kind of fell out of favor like within like a decade.
This is kind of a cool effect, like when he's turning into the
lasted
snake.
Quite a while, longer than they should have. All right, so Conan, Savage Sword of Conan. You had Dark Horse did a version of him that lasted 15 years. Holy shit. Roy Thomas created the comic book tournament. The guy who wrote.
By the way, this is actually a pretty good effect for the time of like.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like him turning to the snake. Like, yeah, it looks pretty good.
All right, how long? Holy shit. Okay, how long do you think the Marvel version of Conan?
10 years.
10
years back.
Is everything working now?
Yeah, you look good. You looks pretty good.
You're not Brad's sister. That's creepy.
It's absolutely
how
don't
long?
deny our kinship.
How long do you think Conan the Barbarian lasted for Marvel Comics?
10 years.
No.
15.
Keep going.
20.
Keep going.
30.
23 fucking years.
Wow.
From October 1970 to December of 1993. Almost 24 years.
That's pretty impressive.
And that's because they lost the license for a while because that was a sought after Dark Horse.
They still had the license. They could have put Conan in an MCU movie now.
Man,
no, they could not.
Okay.
So this is a Marvel character.
No.
Yeah,
Marvel had the license. The Marvel had the license for 24 years, but Dark Horse did it.
For 24 years.
Dark Horse did it.
So
IDW has done it. Yeah, it's a Robert E. Howard. I think
owns
Robert E.
Conan.
Howard. Robert E.
Howard.
Yeah, Robert E. Howard.
Is he still alive or something?
No, but
he's a state. He's a state. Okay.
Yeah, he has been
so
dead.
He's just an independent.
Wow,
character.
this motherfucker died at 30.
Whoa.
Which one?
Robert E. Howard.
Oh, what did he die from?
Let's look. He died. He was born in 1906 and died. He got a lot done in them 30 years. So.
His picture on his Wikipedia looks like Al Capone.
Yeah, he created Weird Tales, and that's where he put Conan. Death. By 1986, almost all of Howard's fiction writing was being devoted to westerns. Let's see. Do the
Wow.
accounts.
So did he have his own comic publication?
No, he didn't have his own public. Also, when he was writing Conan,
you know what?
He
committed suicide.
Oh
no!
He did not like where his career was going, where his narrative career. He had put so much into the fantasy aura, and now he was relegated to doing things he didn't like.
Well, and also he was
he also suffered tuberculosis too, so that's not a good life.
We should have done this as a
AFSP. Yeah, I'd known that. Yeah.
If we knew
I didn't.
that.
I've known of Robert E. Howard all my life. I didn't know he committed suicide until I read that.
Yeah, that's devastating.
I knew he died young. I thought it was in his 50s. I didn't realize he died.
When he also, he died 36. So I mean, there was also the fact that that was during the Great Depression. So I mean, that's obviously
that was right as it was ending. Actually, no, we still have female leaders because the Great Depression didn't technically end until World War II.
He created
Oh,
one of my
really?
all-time favorite female comic book characters with Sonya. So that's really devastating to hear.
So what's his Red Sonja character? I'm very ignorant to all that.
She's basically she's
Female
a
version of
warrior, yeah, but she's not. Yeah, she uses her sexuality, but she's not like one of the women that would be in Conan.
No, she's
So,
So
WAP
you-
And
mode.
she has a
So,
really good comic out right now, by the way,
Yeah, I
So
have
she's
to.
like a
I'll show
female
it
version of
afterwards.
Conan the Barbarian.
but not
Yeah,
as barbaric.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she's
But
not
the
a man.
movie's
She's not a
okay.
man.
The movie's
whore like
actually
you.
pretty good, though. I actually like the
So
original
so
Red
was
Sonja
she like
movie.
a slave as well?
She starts out at one, and she was created by. I don't think she was created by Robert E. Howard, was she?
Yeah, she was.
Roy Thomas. Hold on, partially. Okay, two different characters. The one that's in the comics and in the movies was based on Red Sonja of Rigoterio, but it wasn't the same. It was partially inspired in 1973. So they probably did that to escape copyright, which is kind of cold blooded. But you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So did
By
they,
the way,
did they,
Aaron,
sorry.
I was about to say, as long as not further your internet problems that you were dealing with earlier, on behalf of everybody over the stateside, to whoever's handling the internet in Australia, just have to say, to hell with you. Listen,
Your
I'm gonna have.
accent's not. It's getting worse. It's getting worse with each.
I'm
You
gonna have,
literally sound like the guys off of the Hans and Jans of those guys.
listen. When we get to that part of this movie, it's like that's. I mean, come on, that's like that's everybody's like big laugh moment.
Chappie, your picture looks like an alien version of
No, it's Christopher
Oh.
Johnson.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
that about different time.
It looks like
Did you get a
looks like an
tan?
alien version.
Did you? Are you tanned up? Look at you. You look darker than the last time I saw you.
Oh yeah, been doing a lot of yard work. This is actually my natural skin
Oh,
color.
yeah?
Yeah.
Not the ghostly.
And just because during winter time, I don't go out all that much because it's too bloody cold.
Oh, yeah.
But when I'm like out in the sun, my natural color comes back to me.
Get the turn. Yeah. So how far away? So when I get to Australia, how far away are you from the outback? How long are we gonna have to drive?
Oh, it's miles and miles away. Oh, you will have
Is
to
it-
take a bloody plane.
Oh, we got to fly to the outback from where you're at. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We
You
also
However,
know
realize-
what? Hey,
However,
we should
when
take
it comes
this.
to where I live,
Yeah.
we have a thing called the bush.
Oh, there you go. Is that as dangerous?
It can be.
Okay, so we'll hang out there.
we have okay in my area we have kangaroos
Oh, there we go.
that
Check.
do roam. Yeah, that's true. But that's in my area, not in everywhere in Australia. We do get other native wildlife like kookaburras and all that stuff. Wombats we get wombats here. We have special signs to make people slow down when driving cars in case we don't hit any native wildlife that crosses the street.
So it's much.
So, yeah.
It's there, but it's not as like wild. It's not as like lethal.
Oh,
as outback.
I was with my mum, right? We were driving. Just to go to the shop, and next minute, a snake goes past.
Oh, okay.
So Aaron, like maybe to kind of illustrate a little bit. So how far are you from Sydney? You know, it's kind of like
I'm about with the outskirts of the Sydney suburbs. It could be an hour and a half.
That's
if
not
I-
bad.
okay.
Yeah.
So we could go to the opera house if I were coming, but I really wanted to get in with.
No, if I go to the opera house, it'll be like 2 hours
Okay, that's still not bad.
because we have like it's like New York, right? You've got
Yep.
New York City and then you've got New York State,
the metropolitan area, and yeah.
but you have like suburban areas around. There's the main city hub, and that's where I was I was born and raised before I moved down further south.
Okay, so we're gonna have to get like a helicopter or a single engine plane and just get dropped off in the outback. Then it sounds like because of time constraints.
Yeah, or I can always take.
And we're gonna be barefooted. We're just gonna, like I said before, we're gonna have khakis.
We'll have to make you. No.
We're barefooted and we're wearing khakis and a hat.
Or no.
I live in Orlando.
We're just gonna dig. We're gonna dig in all the holes to see if we can find the trapdoors.
Like Las Vegas, we got really, really poisonous snakes, and we got scorpions as well.
Yeah, but yours are like way bigger. Like everything
So
in the outback.
all you gotta do is drive to your own outback.
No, we don't. You can't listen.
Oh, my sis just laid the smackdown on you, man.
The outback is legendary for death. I mean, we got to go out there. Like I said, got the khaki shorts, the khaki shirt.
The thing is, I'm from Australia. You're from and Nerd is from Arizona. We kind of live in like similar type areas where it's really hot.
You're killing my imagination of what the outback is. I mean, you're Steve Irwinizing my hopes and dreams for when we get out there.
By the way, we got somebody else in the chat. Bell Rev, how's it going? Love that movie. That's the one with the basketball player and the model, right?
Oh, she's talking about Carolina. Yeah, that's Will Chamberlain and Olivia Diallo. Yep, that's exactly what that was. It's a fun movie, but when you grow up, it's horrible. All right, Aaron. So when I get to Australia, you got to lead the way. So when we get to the outback, you have to be like 8 feet ahead of me. So if something does get you, I'll know. Okay, let's not go any further.
Listen, dude, my sis is the only reason you're coming out of there alive.
Okay.
That's me. That's it. Exactly. You're 100% correct.
Well, tell me how it goes.
I will have to. The thing is, I will have to bring a first aid kit first.
I don't think it's going to save us.
You will have no short or anything like that. You will have to
anti-venom, antitoxin, or whatever that shit is.
But you'll have to skin pants in your boots.
Oh, she froze. Well, that's a weird place to froze. Please, too.
Stung or anything, we'll have to take a picture of whatever we got stung by.
Yeah, we get stung, we're dead.
And for universal healthcare, so.
Oh yeah, that's definitely.
I'll get to die at a great hospital, right?
Because by law in Australia.
Pope, this comment right here. This is actually a good comment right here.
Have anti-venom in it,
the newest one.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely a step up. I mean, because you might die in a fancy hospital. You're not going to die from looking at that bill.
Yeah, no, like... Black Mamba or whatever gets you. It's like, damn, give you the painkiller. No, I'm just kidding, Aaron. I know you don't hang out in the outback, but it'd be fun if we did.
If you break a leg in the street.
It holds up pretty well, though, this movie.
Yeah.
Break your leg in the
You're freezing up. Damn, we got to get you. I got to get you. What kind of internet you got out there in Australia? Is it just because you're so far away too? I think that's another thing.
Oh, we got shit internet. Thank you. Thanks to our one of our
to head with you who's running it.
Who shat on? Yeah. Malcolm Turnbull. That's his name. He always pretended that he was a progressive in a conservative government, but he wasn't. And it took an actual conservative to actually do the work to try and fix it.
Yeah.
Oh, random timestamp, guys. For those of you who were watching earlier on, we were at what? We're at 146. About 146. Well, like I said, you're watching it. Once you watch it with us, you can click on the link I put in there, and you'll be able to watch it along with your own time.
Yeah, we're coming up on the greatest prayer of all time in movie history.
Yeah, the prayer that he doesn't really believe in, but says anyway. What are you eating, Aaron? Are you eating Vegemite?
No.
Oh.
Pizza.
It's a pizza? wow, that was bad. Oh,
Ooh.
okay. Is that pineapple, Aaron?
You're glitching, Aaron.
Aaron.
We're
Hold on.
not
Nobody
so
else talk.
far.
Nobody else talk. Aaron, is that pineapple on the pizza?
Do you want me to tell you the truth?
Oh, Jesus. Okay. All right. Hey, listen, it's been a good run, and I really have enjoyed your company. But I have
No, we already agreed I was taking over the show anyway after the Daredevil
I
success.
have to stick to my guns, and we eat pineapple on pizza. That's like devil worship.
Well, why do you hate pineapples?
It's
They're
it's
the
it's
nastiest
magical.
thing to ever grow anywhere. Fungus is more valuable than pineapple. I would rather eat fungus.
Are you okay if we eat the Pineapple Express?
No.
Maybe that was a bad idea.
I saw it as soon as you put it up there. I'm like, what's good?
Okay, I'll tell
Conan.
I'll tell you something about Australia, but you probably won't like it.
There's pineapples there.
Hawaiian pizza is the most consumed pizza in Australia. There you go. It was made by a Greek man.
Yep.
Oh, I can almost taste the nastiness of it in my mouth, and I'm not even eating it.
I probably haven't had because I lived in Hawaii for a little bit. I probably haven't had that in like 30 years. I'm sorry. Okay. Listen, guys. I'm sorry. I got to pause everybody here because we got to listen to Conan's prayer to Crom here.
Yes.
Well, bad. Who fought why we died? No, all that matters is two stood against many.
Okay,
That's what's important.
I can't hear your awful Austrian accent. I can't hear that right now.
Vala pleases you, Crom. So glad you won't request.
Oh my goodness.
If you do not listen, then to hell with you all.
Believe me, for those of you watching this for the first time, it sounds much better when the actual guy says it.
It sounds much funny.
Bastardized,
and it sounds much funnier too. I mean, come on, it's like, that had to be. I'd love to like ask like John Milius and Oliver Stone, like who wrote that line in there? It's like, what was the thought process?
I'm sure that was John Milius. I don't think that was Oliver Stone.
That's like, if you grant me revenge, if you do not listen, then to hell with you. My friend Mike, as he calls that the most blasphemous prayer of all time. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can't argue that.
Here it is.
Yep.
This is the longest line he has in the movie.
Well, yeah, because he has like 8 lines. Again, like Arnold, like I said, he has very little dialogue in Conan. I sound like Red Skull there. You are deluded, Captain. By the way, I know something I thought I'd ask also, William, like as far as like the connection to the Conan stories, there's a fair amount of like as far as like the costumes and even a lot of the mythos. There's a fair amount of like Viking kind of related.
There's Viking, there's Mongolian, there's a lot of different influences on there, and they're great. They do it really great. A lot of Viking, like you said, a lot of romantic. I mean, there's a lot of influences.
But that is like true to Conan's. Okay.
Yeah, and if you look at the geographical area that he is supposed to have taken place in, you see that it's, if you superimpose it onto Earth, or regular Earth, it would be right with all those influences. So,
yeah, I always forget how brutal this is.
Yeah, this last scene's fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, and then we haven't even gotten like the final meeting with Tulsa Doom.
Yeah, let's save that for later.
You know what? Azteca troll? No, it is not. That shit off my screen. Oh, what? Okay, are you talking about on pizza, Dan? Neither.
I'm not a big coconut guy, actually, so I would gladly take pineapple over that.
If I could genetically breed pineapple out of existence, I would.
That is no, man. That's like that's like vegetable fruit eugenics, man. You can't do that.
Oh, that is. Oh my God. Ugh. Ugh. Aaron, you have just. Oh my God.
Aaron, no. It's like
And
you
it's worse to
big,
ask somebody if you ask
big
somebody if they like pineapple on pizza, and you're like, ugh. When you actually see them ingesting it, when you
Big
see
brother
them
approves, Aaron.
eating
Big
it,
brother
when you
approves.
see them actually putting it in their mouth and chewing on it and swallowing it, and nothing like they don't convulse like the Exorcist or something like that, I'm always shocked because I'm like, that's not going to the human body.
What are you comparing me like to a demon or something?
Yeah, pretty much, because pineapple on pizza is demonic. Yeah, I said it. I don't care if you go to church every Sunday. You eat pineapple on pizza. I need to call the reverend, and you might be spitting out
Big
pizza.
brother
You're
approves,
gonna call a
Aaron.
reverend
Don't
on
listen to
me or
this
something?
crazy guy over here.
I know the
Big
world is praying for the Pope
Power
right
of God
now.
compels you. The power of God compels you.
Unless
No more
you're
pineapple on pizza.
The only way
Big brother's
that
on your side here, Aaron.
Nasty. Oh my goodness. I think if you're getting interviewed for a job, and I'm doing the interview, that's one of
Okay,
the
now
questions I'm
this
going
is
to
like,
ask.
oh right, now you were
I'm going to
going
be
way
like, because
overboard here, man.
because if you make this bad decision, you're probably going to be
That
making
is
bad
like, what
decisions
the
after I
fuck,
hire you.
William? Like, come on. That
isn't there like discrimination laws?
No, I need to know something
William
about
is
the
literally
character
saying your
of the
employment
person I'm going to
prospects will
hire.
suffer because you like
I'm like,
pineapple.
okay, everything checks out, man. I mean, he looks great. I think you fit in here. You seem like a great guy, but I got one question to ask. I got one thing, and I need an honest answer. I need your gut answer. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? And if you say yes, I mean, these other qualities you have, I don't know if I
And
can, I
like
can take
Aaron,
that
there's
into
like again,
account.
like Aaron's just like, yeah, as he's saying that, just like
Oh,
enjoying a great meal there.
oh my goodness. My God. Look at her little chubby cheeks are packed with the nasty. Oh my God. Oh, back to Conan. Back to Conan. Oh, dude, that big old spike went
Now
right.
she's like, yeah, like drinking it down with pineapple juice, probably.
That's actually on the ban list. That's one of the ones on the ban list that's serious. That's put that shit back.
Listen, Aaron, big bro here is on your side.
Oh. Please drink some. Go get some. You got to get something to wash that taste out of your mouth, or taste out of my mouth just for seeing it. Oh, Spinal Tap hair,
This
dude.
is a food watch party.
No. But I might need you to go on Avatar. I may not.
No, actually, that's gonna be the next Sci-Fi Center spinoff show. Aaron and I go do a cooking show, like all the different things you can put pineapple on.
All the things you could throw it, places you can throw it away. It's like how to eat pineapple on pizza, and you just slide it into the trash. Step one.
You have disgraced my baby sis tonight, man. This is unacceptable.
Aaron, I can't even look at you the same way now. I'm like, what? Let me take that link back.
I usually get a pizza on Friday nights after that's when sparring is at the school. It's like so I usually get a pizza on Friday nights. I may come on the next show
I'll block
this weekend with like I might go that far and say it's like
you may user not recognized. That's what you might be. Host not recognized on this system. You coming to that shit. And I'm gonna tell Film Junkie too. Film Junkie, he agrees with me. I'm like, don't let this man on your show. You know what he's into, Jay? You know what he's into, Dave?
He will one day.
You're acting like it's a satanic fetish.
Look at this. This is Dulce Doom's the complete asshole in this movie. And he's an abuser.
Dulce Doom, yeah.
He straightens up his snake.
I hope that's not a euphemism, man.
Wow, there goes our monetization right there. Thanks, Brad. I didn't think you would be the one to do a fourth 1,000 demonetization.
Idle, knock back.
He wanted that sword back. That I remember this being like,
We never get in this movie. Also, we never get an answer to the riddle of steel. Oh, or we do.
I thought we did. Yeah, I thought we
got-
did. It just didn't make any sense.
Well, we get that one. We get the one from Tulsa Doom about steel isn't strong flesh, and then, like kind of like the meaning of that. It's like the steel is only as strong as the person wielding it.
Yeah, because that's why he need the power of her making her jump and do all that shit.
But we don't get an answer from like Conan's perspective, really.
No, because it never made sense to him to begin with. That's why he doesn't care. It's like telling a joke to a dog. You don't care. You don't fucking care.
Oh, here it comes right now.
Oh, Aaron, I can't do this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to time you out.
Aaron's having a great meal tonight. And
Hold on, are you in the chat? I gotta.
I wish I could be there with you, sis. It's like we'd be chowing down together right now.
This is so nasty, and you're doing it like without any strain.
Aaron, please, don't feel it. That's like,
oh my goodness,
your corner tonight.
Spit it out, Aaron. Spit it out. Spit it out. I can see. I know you want to do it. I know you made a mistake. So you can spit it out. If you spit it out on air, I'll have so much respect for you. Reject it, Aaron. Reject it.
Aaron, don't let this man talk you out of it.
Oh, and that one had big chunks of pineapple too. That just destroys the pizza. That's like taking the pizza and smearing it and then with some mud and then saying, tasty. Are you even swallowing? You're not swallowing.
I will trust Aaron over all things.
She's spitting it out off screen. She understands. She made a mistake. She can't even take any more bites of that. Look at her poor things. Yeah, see, that's the face of somebody who's eating pineapple pizza.
This Friday.
Yeah, wash it down with some gasoline or something. Something's got to get
this Friday. I will call in.
Come on. There you go, Aaron. Come on.
I will
spit it into the cup, Aaron. Spit it into the cup.
This Friday.
You can be redeemed. You can still be saved. There's still time for you.
Oh, by the way, Daniel Martin. Yeah, I knew somebody was going to throw this at me. The Wayne Say.
Yeah, they're going to make a white chicks too, man. How great is that, man?
I don't care. Okay, it's guys. It's like. I don't care. It's bad enough. I got
scary movie is special. You have to admit it. You hate it too much, and you have to learn
don't
to
take any more bites of that. Is that more of that? Is that what? How much is left? Throw it away. Open up the door here. While you're on camera, open up. Oh, that's too much. Open up the door
while
and
Williams
throw it out there
with a delicious pineapple pizza. Tulsa Doom just is getting his head cut off right now.
Yeah, hold on.
Rather graphically.
Dude, this guy has hot chicks everywhere. He has hot chicks all the way through up to the point where he dies.
This was actually this is like probably one of like the more brutal, like for its time, like decapitation.
Yeah, because he did it slow.
Yeah, well, like he gets him it's like 4 chops and then he throws his head down that staircase.
It reminds me of the Warriors. Can you dig it?
Yeah.
I'll say waiter.
Yeah.
And then it lands and it sounds like a coconut dropping. And the Aaron Bell rev is on your side.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to start banning. By the way, unblock me, Bell. Damn, what'd I do?
She said she didn't. Stream. She said she didn't block you when she's not block you where? Like she's on social media.
I was watching her stream and her and Fourth were talking about me, him trying to have her hook me up with women. I'm like, you guys realize I'm in this chat, right? And then I realized that she can't see me, and I'm like, well, this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Aaron, I'm gonna make it. Yeah, Aaron, I'm gonna make an international call on Friday, and I'm gonna order a pineapple pizza and have it delivered to your front door.
Yeah, I am gonna have to start making our audience smaller here. It looks like dude, it's nasty. Oh, dude, this is making me want to just dude. I would rather dine on feces than this mixture that you guys are trying to get up here. This is nasty.
Oh, yeah, she says someone that modded. She had modded the past plot to you. So I guess there's a little misunderstanding there.
Yeah, because I was trying to answer her questions. Yeah, I don't know how. By the way, Bill, how did I come up in your conversation? I wasn't even there at first. How did I? I know Fourth probably had something to do with it. In fact, I know.
Oh, no, guys, it's about to happen right now. Yeah, he did decapitate him.
Yeah.
And then he sits there in the staircase for like 5 hours, just kind of pondering. Okay, I've got my revenge.
That's a bad prop, by the way. You can't even.
Oh,
see
that
it.
head. Yeah.
That's just like a mop head or something. He just tossed it out there.
Well, you can even you look closely at Arnold's hand right after he chops it off. You can see pretty clearly that is not a human head or like anything resembling a human
It
head.
would have taken him more chops than that. He didn't take a full swing because the vertebrae would have taken him like that.
Did you kick Aaron out because of the pineapple pizza?
No, she did it to herself. She understood.
Oh. Aaron, okay, we're wrapping up the movie in a second here anyway. But Aaron, I will make an international call this Friday. I will have a pineapple pizza delivered to your front doorstep, and I will pay for it all myself.
Yeah, but my camera's not shitty, Bill. I mean, and I'm looking at. I can see what you're saying though, because like right now, Brad can see me. I'm crystal clear.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. His shirt is a little bit fuzzier.
Well, that and my whole face is fuzz. I can see what she's saying, but it's not my camera. This is a very expensive camera, and it's crystal clear when we're on. And I looked at other streams that were crystal clear, but the one she was talking about the other night, I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, it's bad. And then I look at it now when we're on YouTube, it's not to my liking. So but it's not my camera. I don't know what to do. I think it's a YouTube thing.
And here's the King Conan and shot I mentioned earlier. And like I said, Zack Snyder's Justice League. There's the clear reference to that with Darkseid during the Cyborg Nightmare Vision.
Yeah, my tours being an OIF3 tells you immediately that eliminates me from being in my 40s.
That's the thing, though. Like, I would be down with like an old man Conan movie where he's like the king now. Like, I wonder why they couldn't get that off the ground.
Yeah, I figured it was more of a joke. I was just weird, but I tuned into your stream, because I need my complement of F-bombs, and you give me plenty. But yeah, it was Here's the daddy issue. What is wrong with you, dude? Never mind. Not anymore. Why I bought you up.
All right, and that is Conan the Barbarian, guys.
Hold on, mine's still on.
Yeah, you're ahead of the game there, Brad. Of course.
Well, because Chabby, you're watching the extended version, right?
Yeah,
I think we both are. We're both watching this.
Yeah, because I just rented it on Amazon.
You bonehead! You should have told me that.
The thing here, it's like I tried that link you put up. It's like you kept telling me it wasn't going to come up, so I said, "Fuck it," I just rented it. So.
No, I told you it was going to work. It works. That's where I'm watching it.
So how
well, it didn't work for me. So
how long does the extended cut go for?
It's 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes longer. Yeah, Aaron, like I said, when you had the hiccup this Friday, I make an international call, and I will personally order a pepperoni and pineapple pizza. Have it delivered to your doorstep, and all expenses on me. Okay.
Oh, yum.
How do you know what I'll take, Fourth? You don't. But just shut up.
Yeah,
so is this like a conglomerate of barbaric tribes, or is it one particular?
Well, here's just one particular. I was born in '74, Bill. So you were right. Yeah, you're right. Not 51, but
I'm gonna pull this up again too with the Conan, the King Conan shot there because I mentioned this earlier. But yeah, this Zach put a pretty notable Conan homage, and this is the Cyborg Nightmare Vision, as you can see. Like, and there's so that's clearly a King Conan nod with Darkseid right there.
I'm gonna have to ban Fourth. This is like the most respect he's given a woman in the whole show.
Yeah.
No, Conan, where she bows to him and he says, and he kind of rejects the idea of being her king, but I can take you home to your father. Yeah, that is kind of sad. That's the most respect he's given to a woman the whole movie.
Our most respected woman is shown in the whole movie.
Yeah, by anybody, yeah.
It's not a feminist movie. It's far from.
Not even close.
Yeah, Fourth is drunk, high. I figure after one or two posts, I can pretty much figure that he's either trolling me or he's high.
He's a fucking around.
Yeah. or all of the above, maybe. But the point is, the moral of the story is that pineapple absolutely goes on pizza, as my baby sis has proven tonight beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Disgusting. All right. Oh yeah, here.
Oh, it just ended. Let me get my book out.
And this movie clearly illustrates his marriage to Maria Shriver.
Yeah, and him banging the banging the house cleaner and having a
that was a little below the
having a
belt,
love
Aaron.
child out there. So yeah, Arnold. All right,
Aaron,
next
that
movie,
was-
The Night is Young. No, you guys are
Aaron, you
driving
took
me
the gloves
crazy.
off there.
I may have gone. You know what? Fourth, it's Aaron's fault because any energy I had was watching her eat that thing, drained it all out of me. So yeah, don't have any. So I did
Aaron,
drunk to stream. I did drunk stream. Okay, sure.
What would make me just eating a simple meal?
Yeah,
That's not a meal. That's not a meal.
Oh yeah. There's
I have that.
This is the one I have.
Oh,
Right
wow.
That's a Bushima cover, by the way. I think.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah.
Aaron,
are you done eating, Aaron?
Yeah, I am.
I got one more.
And Aaron, on that crack on Arnold's marriage, I will, as Ian Malcolm once said, cruel but good word use.
All right. Well, you don't have to let me know when you purge your system of it. I'll just assume that you did, and I'll
No, like I said, she's got another one coming to her doorstep this Friday. I am arranging an international.
Yeah, like I said, but like, hey, sorry, sir. I think you would have been a good fit here, but you failed one of the questions.
Aaron,
man.
can you with your phone take a pic of an image of the receipt so I could show that on air to William?
We're
gonna edit that out. We're gonna edit that out.
Would you prefer a liar? Would you prefer a liar?
I would have preferred you lied to me and said you were eating off the floor or something. I don't care. You could have told me anything.
I said magical fruit, but you already
magical
knew.
Fruit is Well, you started grimacing. That grin that you gave me told me that okay, yeah, that's what was in that pizza. And then you couldn't even chew it anymore
because you were making me laugh too much.
It's a
almost died.
Okay, I don't need your moves on my screen.
Yeah. Oh, Gail Simone wrote that one.
Yeah, it's a 3-part comic series, and this is one of my favorite series that I've read with Sonya. This is a great book to read.
The new one is better. The new one
because
you ain't ACS. You can't be showing me up, but trying to show up on my stream shirtless. What you trying to say?
Oh, wow.
I don't think Brad appreciates being shown up that way, and I don't need him trying to outdo you by showing up here shirtless. So, none of that.
I mean, even Conan's shirtless.
Yeah, but he's Arnold Schwarzenegger. You're Chappie.
William, I'm in the dojo literally 6 days a week now. So.
I don't need to. Oh, so you want to compete with Chappie now? See, Chappie, look what you've done. You challenged Brad's manhood. Now the next game, he's going to be on here.
Listen, no. All I need to do it doesn't. It's going to be putting clothes on, and Aaron's going to come on this with you. He's like, Aaron, we're going to pick a day. We're not going to tell William what day it is. We're going to come on our gi with our gis on.
You guys have been saying this for
but we're not going to tell you what.
I think the only time I see Aaron, she should have the gi on.
But we're not going to tell you what's going to happen. So that's
we watched it. We stared at her avatar with her kicking for a year until she came on, and then yours, what you doing this, and I've kind of used that now as your little avatar on here. Like, might need to change that. Talk is cheap, Brad. Okay, see, now you're being challenged. See that Trappy started it. See. I don't know. Magical fruit. Yeah. Fourth magical fruit for fourth is weed.
Listen, if I grow my beard out, I can look like old man King Conan now. It's like I look 10 years younger when I shave. So
yeah.
Are you as ripped? Are you as ripped as Arnold was there?
I'm pretty close.
Okay, you're full of shit. I think you're lying, but I think you're fit because you do all that stuff.
I'm in pretty good shape, but
are you like six packing it? Are you like striking matches on your 6-pack? I mean, what?
Not quite there yet.
Okay. Are you refined or are you just stocky?
What?
Are you refined? Are you cut up like him? Are you stocky like Arn Anderson type, where you have a lot of muscle, but it's not like bodybuilding? Arnold's a bodybuilder.
I'm actually a lot broader probably than I look on camera right now. That's that's kind of the first thing about when people like meet me in person, they realize is like I have very broad shoulders, so that kind of that probably makes you look a lot stockier than I do.
The film junkie. When I see the film junkie for all those years on the stream, and then when I meet him in person, he's stocky, but he's like 5'1" or some shit, dude.
I'm about 6 feet even.
You're that tall, man.
Yeah.
Then again, like I said, I never see you stand, so you're always on the thing. So.
Well, I mean, if I stand, you're like only like see from my chest down to my waist.
Yeah, because the screen is only so big. Can you shred cheese on those, Brad? Oh, I'm not a bodybuilder. I know I have the body of a potato, so I'm not in the.
Can we do the Jason Momoa one for one of our next ones?
Nah,
be there for that. Yeah.
I mean, we did the first Conan movie, so let's do the second one.
Conan, the sequel. To
I can't.
No, not the sequel, but
I can't hear the woman in the lower left-hand corner for some reason.
You mean my baby sister?
I can't hear her right now. I think it's subliminal. I think it's a mental coping mechanism to like deal with what she did to me just in this show. Aaron, I can't.
It's like I violated you or something.
Yes, you did. That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. Violated. I feel violated. On my stream, you were eating pineapple on pizza. One of the first things on the ban list, like the hard one, the one that's in stone. Pineapple on pizza is like the one. All the other things can change, right? Everything can come and go. Pineapple on pizza is like in stone.
It was not going into your mouth. It was not going into your
just tummy. Knowing it was going into yours is the same thing.
I was not over there in Las Vegas.
William, it's in her digestive system, not yours.
No, but I saw it. I know it happened.
I wasn't in there. I wasn't in there in your room.
Yeah, but you're on the screen. I saw it.
In your tummy.
Modern technology puts it like I can smell it from here. Oh my god,
Aaron, I'm going to tell the pizza guy to put a bow on that box when I make your international call to have it sent to your front.
Oh boy, when I take over the world.
We just watched a movie where a man called Conan the Barbarian was violating all these women, and he's eating a simple meal.
Dude, him eating the vulture was more or less offensive than you eating that pineapple on the pizza.
Man, William, like reaching. I mean, going to hyperbole much? Do you?
Do you want me to?
No more of that. No. Did you order that from somewhere?
No.
Did you have you made it?
No, it was gourmet frozen that we have here.
Well.
Yes, she definitely did. She absolutely did. Fourth time in Williams Live.
No, she shredded norms. She shredded my appetite. Is what she shredded. Pathfinder Watch Party.
Yet?
Nah.
Yeah, Williams.
So I violated your.
Nah, I lost my appetite. I may not ever eat again.
Oh,
all right, guys. All right, so that was Conan the Barbarian. I'll edit for those of you who come back in here and you come in here and you realize why there's chunks missing. Most of Brad's bad jokes and his bad Australia. I'm going to edit that out. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to try my best to edit Aaron's eating the pizza out. But you know what?
Aaron. Okay, Aaron. Now every stream we both come on, we are coming on with pineapple pizza now.
I'll listen. I will go.
We're gonna carpet bomb this dude.
Chat.
I will, man. Both of you, mofos, forever. Thank you, Bobby's Vegas Gaming here in Vegas. Big thumbs up. I grew up in this movie. Yeah, so did me. I saw this movie as an 8-year-old in the theater. That's why I'm the man I am. By 1982, I had seen 2 Halloweens. I had seen Conan the Barbarian. I had seen John Carpenter's The Thing. I had seen Blade Runner.
Wait, you saw The Thing?
Yeah, in the movies. I saw. In fact, the same weekend. The same weekend I saw Blade Runner.
What was it like though? I know it wasn't a big hit though.
For me, it was a hit. I didn't care.
Well, maybe that's why Aaron is aging more gracefully because he's eating the pineapple.
Yeah, and I had seen by 1982, I had seen three Friday the 13th movies, including the best one, Friday the 13th Part 3. So by the time I got to Conan and watching that, these things are like, it was ingrained. But yeah, I grew up on Conan was great. And then, like I said, that's the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie I'd ever seen. He hadn't done anything that I'd seen before. And as an 8-year-old watching that, like I said, I grew up and I would get the comics later on in life. And I'm a fan of the Conan sphere of books. So yeah, I grew up on it. Thank you for the super chat though. That's thank you for the huge contribution to the show. It helps. It's going to help me get pineapple pizza repellent. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, Vegas. Hey, Bobby, have you stopped by? Have we met? I can't believe we've been.
Oh, by the way,
I hope
before we sign off, actually, and we.
I don't want to. I don't do it.
This also relates to Aaron.
Are we going to get demonetized?
We have to wish Aaron. We have to bid in my baby sis a happy birthday because her birthday is.
Okay.
Well, for her it might be actually very shortly because her birthday.
Yeah,
yes.
tomorrow.
So happy birthday,
so
Aaron.
First of all, listen. The pineapple on pizza and the baby sis things have the same weirdness to them. So let's stop both. Let's stop the eating of pineapple pizza and stop the baby.
Well, what kind of odds do you think we're going to stop either?
This is the big 3-7 for you, right? How are you? This is something I cannot believe.
Well,
that is not the face of a. Okay, so you have, now that I know you sold your soul to some demon. And you have to eat pineapple pizza to please it.
No, it's just a matter of eating pineapple pizza,
young.
man. That's the key to like maintaining like youth.
This is not the face of a woman that's headed to 40. You're getting carded. If you came out to Vegas, we ain't giving you shit. You're getting near beer. That's it. I don't care if you produce an ID card that says I'm this age and the ATF is gonna come in and raid us as soon as we give you a sip. You do not look 37 years old. Brad looks.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure Ralph Macchio also gets carded as well.
Yeah, and he's like, is he like 62 now?
No, he's
50.
He's 60. He's in the 60s.
Yeah.
Really?
He stayed young for a long time.
He looks like he's young still.
No, he looks like he's 55, but he don't look. He ain't getting carded. Aaron's getting carded. Thank you. By the way, thank you, Bobby. If you're in Vegas, do swing by. If we met, let me know because I'm
going to tell you this right now. One of these days, I'm going to visit the Sci-Fi Center whenever.
I need to know when this is happening because
when I come to Vegas.
All right,
but I'll tell you when.
Okay, thank you because I invented this thing. I invented this thing to help me deal with you. It's called a lock. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you. I'd love to meet. I'd love to meet all our viewers. I've met some of them. I tried to kill fourth, but it was cool meeting him. But yeah, thank you, Bobby. I'd love to meet you if I haven't already met you. I mean, you may have stopped by the store already. I love pineapple on pepper. Okay, now you've. All right, you know what? You paid.
Man after my own heart.
For that. You paid for that. You paid to do that. I know that you probably did that, and then you're like, okay, let me feed this to him. The back in business. I was out. Damn, boy. What do you think is going on in my little place? Well,
you're obviously not eating a pineapple.
No, I don't listen. In all consistency, I don't like pineapple anywhere. I don't like pineapple juice. My mom if my mom ever comes on this show. Oh my goodness, the show is over with. She'll make the ham for the family, and then I get my own because they like to have pineapple on that shit. I don't want pineapple on anything. If I had the Infinity Gauntlet, fuck getting half the population, get rid of that. Pineapple's gone. It's gone. Snap my fingers, it's gone. It's nasty.
All the Hawaiians will be so sad.
That'd be all right. There's coconuts there. Let's see. We've never met. I'm working or other way streaming now. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's sad. We live in the same city, but we're doing the same things that would keep us from meeting each other. Yeah, I live here. Yep, I'm here.
Well, I live in Orlando, so. Brad, where do you live?
I'm counting. Listen, fourth. I'm going to solve my fourth problem and my fly problem. I'm going to solve my fourth and my fly problem all at once because I got some stuff I need somebody on a ladder for when we get out here.
Yeah, I live in Savannah, Georgia.
Oh.
Yeah, Conan. I've been wanting to do Conan for a while, and then there's some other movies that I realized we haven't done.
Yeah,
but
we
the
gotta
dudes are
do the
talking-
Jason Momoa Conan next.
Okay, no, we're about to Danny. I am in the commercial center. I'm
That
at the
should
top
be
of
our
the.
next live stream. It's the Jason Momoa Conan. I'll get.
We got some Daredevil to finish up actually. So
The store is in the commercial center, top of the Orleans Square. If you Bobby, if you Google the Sci-Fi Center, there's a map that leads you right up to me. So.
have you can't find the map. Just like look for like the biggest parking lot in town.
Yeah, yeah. If you know where the commercial is, Center Bobby, you know the Orleans Square. Right. I'm right on top the back section. You'll see me. Anywhere where else would I put you put pineapple? Did people put pineapple on everything, dude? There's people who put pineapple on. I saw a guy the other day. I know. I was at the. I forgot where I was at, but this guy had pineapple on his nachos, and I just wanted to slap him out of his hand and be like, "Dude, I just saved you. I just saved your life. Thank you." People put pineapple in drinks. People put pineapple on in salads. Ugh. And then they're wondering why. And listen, people say, "Well, you can just pick it out." I try. You know, when I'm having a dinner with people and they order that stuff, and I'm not eating it, everybody, you know, we order something, they pick it up. I try to pick it out, but sometimes the taste just permeates it, and you just got to throw it away. There's no other way.
Okay, so this is enough of William's pineapple meltdown.
Yeah, you started this. You and Aaron Ozzy started this. Vegas. Yeah, that's Vegas. Yep. You can go to the Sci-Fi Center. Yeah, you can find me. You know where the commercial center is, right, Bobby? It's literally right in the center of the city. I mean, so
I can find you on Google Maps.
Yeah, Google Maps. I even have a movie that leads you from the street up to me, right to me. So yeah. But no, it is not. There is not. Pineapples exist.
Hey, are we still on that Jingle All the Way deal?
100%.
No. What was the deal? What do you guys imagine in your head?
JoJo,
if he does that
George
podcast,
R. Martin
releasing
releases
the last
the
book, I suggested.
Oh, no. Okay, let's make this bet. If he never writes the movie, no one's going to care. I'll bet you that. If he makes the book, nobody's going to care. I'll bet you that. Nobody cares about those books anymore.
Yeah. So I will go ahead and date Jingle All the Way right now. And
yes,
but you're betting against yourself. You're betting with yourself. You're not betting with me. I'm telling you, if he could release the book tomorrow, nobody's going to care. Game of Thrones is the TV show. That's it. It's not like Harry Potter.
That season finale.
It's not like Harry Potter where everything went lined up. You can't watch Game of Thrones, especially if you didn't know the books exist, which is the majority of people who watch it now because they get mad. Okay, so when the Mountain season 4, right towards the end, Pedro Pascal's character is facing the mountain. Now, every one of us, sorry, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched up to season 4, you've had enough time. It. Okay, but this is I'm talking spoilers of Game of Thrones, so mute if you don't want it. Okay, Pedro Pascal's character gets his head crushed.
William, counterpoint, I have literally never been incorrect about anything.
So if I'm in there, right, and somebody in our group watch party, somebody blurted that out, and I had to escort this guy out for his own safety. I had to get him because everybody turned around. And these peaceful people who were watching Game of Thrones, these peaceful people who I don't think would have hurt a fly, were about to hurt this fly. And I had to get them. I had to get him out. And I'm like, everybody just calm down, continue to watch the show because he had read the books and he blurted it out. And I'm like, you fucking moron. Nobody has read these books. Nobody has read these books. I had to get him out of there.
Counterpoint, I have literally never been incorrect.
That's its own comment
about anything.
All right, read the last fly comment. Okay, read your last comment. All right.
Yeah. So I was about to say
where
exactly.
Is it? Where is it?
Let me go up here. Oh, Chat. I think this is one. Chappie going to visit the Cyber Service shirtless. You won't.
Nah, in fact, Chappie.
No, I won't go.
Chappie,
I'll go in my
never come up again with boobs. No more topless anything. Brad,
I'll wear my Howard the Duck T-shirt.
Brad, as long as it's something. Brad doesn't appreciate being shown up. You challenge his manhood tonight, and you know how you.
I'll wear a special T-shirt for you.
Brad is gonna when we end the stream. Brad is gonna go stand in the mirror and be like, you know what? maybe I will come on this next stream shirtless, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, fuck it.
Yes, do it. I dare you to.
Fuck it.
You should go shirtless just for one quick second.
By the way, you just outed yourself. You put a super chat to put the fly comment. I'm like, okay, wonder who the fly is now.
He already outed himself previously, so it's not like the cat wasn't out of the bag or the fly
He's
wasn't.
trying really hard to show some discipline and not fuck up and put the same typing in to the same one to where it comes up as both
because
Fourth and the fly.
For those of you not aware, like Fourth, he did that one a couple weeks ago where it's like he typed the same comment as Fourth and as Williams Pants. So it's like, okay, now it's like what we already knew to be true is, we can confirm out right now.
Yeah, look at him, dude. Look at him. Aaron, what are you doing for your birthday? Besides, let's forget about the whole pizza ordeal. But what are you going to do for your birthday? Are you going to go out?
I don't know.
Kangaroo riding?
Got no idea.
You're not going to go party and slam dance and do the and like get completely smashed?
Oh, I don't drink.
Nothing.
I don't.
So, but is there going to be a party though? Are you going to is all the Aussies going to get together and the big
I
giant
think
cake?
sometime next week there's going to be a party of such, because that's the only way everybody can get together. So that's about it.
All right.
But
cool.
tomorrow, got no idea.
You're just going to sleep
Well,
in?
Well, sis, hopefully your birthday is better
stop.
than mine.
Brad is not your brother unless somebody makes an admission.
On my birthday, and that's
yeah. Hey, Aaron. I think you made a stronger stuff than Brad because Brad had a cold and Brad was. I thought Brad was dead. I was looking for Brad. Do you know how they say Brad 1987 to whatever?
Atomic flu.
Brad got some Stephen King shit and just I didn't know. I put a milk carton up for him. I thought Brad was dead. I'm like, I was gonna do a health and welfare section. I'm like, can anybody in Savannah? Hey, ACS, Anthony, can you go down and check and see if Brad's alive? Because this motherfucker's not coming. He ain't streamed in a while. And I was even gonna I was gonna play the raid maybe just to see if I could coax you back to life or something.
The way I was feeling, even the raid couldn't have got me on, man.
Oh, look who's this! I mean, listen.
Look at Fourth. Look who decided to show up.
Right as we're getting ready to sign off.
Yeah, we are about to sign off, and you're about to come on here and lie and say you're not the fly, which rhymes, but it's listen, dude. I
don't know how to convince you. I am not Williams Fly. I promise you. What do you want me to put my right hand on and swear on?
But
your bowl of
show
weed.
Your face.
But you need both hands to put it on your bowl of weed that you smoke.
Here's the counterpoint: is like I have deduced you are Williams Fly, and as we have established repeatedly,
okay, well that
on a shadow of doubt on the show tonight, I have literally never been wrong about anything in my life.
Lord, okay. I think Brad is hitting Gonzo too.
I was Williams Pants. I was Brad Sensei. Which other ones were there?
That's too many. That right there is too many.
You were Williams Pants. You were his bed. You were his.
I was not his bed.
By the way, the fly has changed design.
You're his fly. You're my teacher. You're my what else? You were like my.
I was Blade.
I'm still creeped out about the pants thing. I'm still creeped out that my dead tired ass sacrificed sleep to put on a show during Comic-Con after a near-death experience, and you weren't focusing on the content. You weren't focusing on me talking about seeing Robert Downey Jr. and all this Avengers thing, that all the Comic-Con, where I'm literally in the middle of Comic-Con. You fixated on my pants that were hanging on the bathroom door, and it's just weird, man. It's just
it
next
was
time
weird
you're on the ladder.
Why were they back there? Hopefully you were wearing them. That's what we commented.
Okay, I went to San Diego with one pair of pants worth. That's what you thought I was doing?
Maybe. You walked around all day long in like 100-degree weather. Or no, it was comfortable weather.
73 degrees. Dude,
okay.
I need you to get a better dealer. The guy you're getting your stuff from, he's slipping, he's experimenting with you because you're just gone, man.
Your perspiration levels are probably still set to Las Vegas, so you probably sweat a lot. So you came back.
Okay, I bought more than one pair of pants. And
then you were like, you came back and you're like, man, I wrecked these jeans. I'm gonna put them on the chair over here. All right,
so
time to start
concerned that I was pantsless. That's your obsession with it.
I was concerned.
Okay, I don't know which weirder. You concerned about the pants or that I was pantsless, as that was relevant at any point in your life.
Hey, I was
we're
just
really
looking out.
screwing well. What are we doing here? It's like 4 a.m. over here at
Yeah,
nighttime.
it's time to
all right,
wrap
it's
it up on
time
this
to go.
note.
Hey, thank you for everybody, including Forth the Fly, with
I'm
his
not
$2
the Fly.
super chat to out himself. Thank you, Bobby, for your contribution. Thank you guys for just watching. This was a classic movie. I hope. Listen, after I edit all this horrific nonsense that happened during the stream, I hope you guys that are watching it later on enjoy Conan the Barbarian. If this is the first time you've seen it, I hope we've added more to your movie-going experiences. That's why we do these things. You can sit and watch the
Hey,
movie
look.
on your own. So
I'm sorry.
to watch it with us.
Real quick, the Fly is is doing chats while I'm as the Walrus. I cannot do simultaneous at the same time. I would have
Yeah,
to
you
switch.
can. You would need
We
two
did
different.
that the other
You need
night
two
when you were
different
wearing
emails.
pants on
It's
yourself.
easy.
Yeah, but I can't only engage with YouTube with one avatar at a time.
You can be
And
on a
on a
phone
live
in
stream.
one. You can be on, and the people who've done it. You did it when you were doing the other aliases that you thought were necessary.
From the
So,
chat.
yeah.
Always from the chat. I just proved myself. That proved it right there.
No, it doesn't, dude.
Aaron, back me up.
But like I said, you'll mess up. You'll take a little bit. You'll take a hit. You'll take one extra hit that you probably will that won't let you type and talk and do all the other stuff at the same time. And then I'll see it. I'll see Williams Fly say something that Forth just did, and then I'll be like, okay, what a shock! What a shock, man! All right, guys. Yeah, put on the shirt, Chappie, please. Yeah, it's fun, dude. Bobby, get out to a con, even if it's not San Diego. Get out to a comic. Get out to some.
Well,
kind
I've been to
convention.
MegaCon. I've been to Comic Con
Yeah,
once.
MegaCon. We have amazing Comic Con that's growing back now after it's
I
recovering.
got to meet the amazing Carl Junito at this year's MegaCon, so that was a pleasure to meet.
Okay. I will ban forever if motherfuckers do not come in here with Being Williams pineapple pizza. That's you get one chance. You get 2 seconds as long as it's banned forever. Banned.
What did they post in the chat?
Yeah, it's worth. I know you probably getting the Avatar together right now, so go ahead and just ditch that one.
You know what Bio Visa is in all seriousness. You know what it is. The one thing that is, it's very dry.
I'm editing this show. This stream is 2 hours and 42 minutes. By the time I end up cutting all the shit out of it, it's going to be like a half hour. All right. Well, happy birthday, Aaron. Try not to do something too crazy.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Yeah, don't. I know you don't drink, but don't experiment with anything. Fourth is an example that drinking is not the only thing that can have you lose your mind. So just All right, that's it. Chappie's gone.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Now we can keep the stream going another. No, just kidding. All right, it's 1:00 in the morning, 1:13 in the morning. I don't think we don't have anything planned for tomorrow night. Do we want to do Daredevil tomorrow?
Yeah, because only 3 episodes left. I was gonna ask.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the last 3 episodes. That puts us back on track for Born Again. I have not watched the stream that Brad hosted by himself. I'm fucking afraid to, but I'll bring myself to do it because I know he's probably talking about everything but Daredevil. There's probably the Last Dragon, Kung Fu Panda, everything but what was on the screen. But I'll let that go. All right, guys. See you tomorrow night for what episodes?
Episodes 10, 11, 12, and 13.
Okay, we're gonna do a 4-pack. Okay, cool.
Or 11, 12. Yeah, it's just 3 left.
3 left. All right. Well, last 3 episodes of Daredevil tomorrow. Next week is Born Again. Can you believe it? We're finally there. Next week is Born Again, and we will be watching that. I need to see what time. I need to see. You're the Fly. I need to see what time it is because I want to stream it as it airs. But you know how Netflix is it going to get? Actually, I'm sorry. No, dude. There you go. I'm still so used to Netflix, so we don't have to worry about some cat watching all 9 episodes and blasting it out. The first 2 episodes, we will watch the first 2 episodes on March 4th because that's how they're released. So,
all right.
We will see you tomorrow night to wrap up season 2, and then subsequently after that for season 3. And let me know what kind of movies you guys want to see. I picked Conan, but you never know what we could be watching. I know Spider-Verse movies, stuff that Brad brought this up. No martial arts movie. We don't need to see any of this.
I'll pick a good one.
Machopos to do what? Pick the fly. It would be convenient. All right, for Williams Fly, Aaron the Aussie, Brad Curran, and myself, have a good night.
There we go.
Absolutely not, Bobby. I'm sorry.